I come out west, heading west toward the channel. I'm just gonna try to get out there and fish the channel down while I was here, but hell, by the time I get out there, it's just brutal out here. I'm fixing to go put the boat on the trailer and I'm gonna head up to Morley. this is the roughest I've ever been out here that I've been in since I've been coming up here.
Thanks for stopping by, guys. Make sure you hit that like button if you don't mind, and let's talk fishing. Here we go. Ho, ho, ho! What's going on?
Man.
So, we got some SBC contestants up here tonight. we got live bait, and artificial guy down here underneath me here. So, who you fishing with, Wes?
I'm not fishing it.
You're not fishing it? I thought you were fishing it.
No. My granddaughter's birthday party is going to be January the 7th. And she never gets to have a pool party because it's always in January. So this year they rented a pool, Manual College. They rented the gym out. They got a swimming pool there so she could have a pool party. So I like to fish, but I'd rather see my granddaughter swim than I had to fish the SBC. So.
I know that's right. That'll be more fun anyways. So are you going to go to the captain's, what is it called? The captain's meeting?
Well, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I ain't bringing 1,000 pounds of fucking food and breaking my truck down to go in there and get 20 raffle tickets when I could have spent that $700-800 and got 500 raffle tickets.
Yeah.
What's up, Perry?
What's up?
What's up, Pete?
What's up?
So Perry is a live bait fisherman, and Pete says he's going to go all in and pull nothing but artificial. So we're going to see how this plays out, I guess, Saturday about 4 o'clock.
What?
Oh, boy.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh,
what you got? Are those? Hold on. Let's figure out what those are. Those are definitely not Super Fluke Juniors.
You got them back there for show only. Don't let them fool your ass.
And you got the what is it called? The money. What is the brand of the A-rig, Scott?
Can't tell you.
It's called live blueback herring.
We know what they are. It's the one with the spinners. They're called something. Money Mafia, something like that.
Mini Mac, I think he says. Mini Mac.
No, they're not Mini Macs.
No, those are commercial. You could go buy those at Bass Pro.
No.
Oh my God. Well, they're wannabe commercial. They're off-brand Amazon.
Yeah.
No, not Amazon.
eBay.
No. A friend who does that.
But he didn't make them though.
Oh no, then no. Hell no. What are you gonna do? Bend wire?
He's wiping dust. Those things have dust on them.
I hit the ceiling fan with the rocks there.
I thought maybe the A-rigs had dust on them.
Oh, they do. They're rusty.
I see you got the A-rig, but that's a joke, right? You're not pulling A-rigs in the SBC. No.
Hey, what's up, Shannon? Hey, can anybody see, Joe, are you watching the comments tonight?
I'm getting ready to be. So, Scott, you said that somebody actually won the SBC one year, you pulling artificials, right?
Correct. Yep.
Wow. So, do you know what they were pulling, or does everybody just assume they were pulling A-rigs, or what?
Yeah, they were pulling A-rigs. I mean, I'm pretty sure he told everybody. A lot of people seen him.
The Hobbs brothers, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoa, Peter done some digging.
I know.
Peter done some digging.
They're popular guys in Lake Norman. They really are. You probably know David Club. They're kids. His kids. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let me go ahead and I'll tell you a little side note too. Those A-rigs that they have or had pulling, I made them.
So you were. So they were pro staff Peter Malik.
No, he actually he texted me one day. He's like, "Hey, can you give me some A-rigs?" I said, "How many you need?" He said, "I need 25." I'm like, "Whoa, 25 like that?" Yeah. So he legit got 30 from me actually.
So you're making A-rigs.
Used to, no more.
Okay, you used to. Okay.
Whenever
you made them, what differentiated yours from the ones that you can go buy at Bass Pro? Or was it just replicas of those?
That is a secret I cannot reveal.
Okay, well, can you reveal this? Were they heavier?
No, about the same.
About the same?
So,
Okay.
I'll tell
They
you.
were
I'll
they
tell
were
you the
made out of
background.
clothes hanger wire instead of regular wire.
I'll tell you the background. So when A-rigs first started coming out, I bought some from Bass Pro Shops, and I think they were the Strike King titanium ones, whatever brand I think it is.
Not titanium.
Yeah, they're titanium wire, some shit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
I think
got
clothes hangers are titanium, aren't they?
Yeah.
the arms, whatever. I was getting pissed off at the arms actually breaking on me. The arms, the swivels, the ends.
Yeah,
So I'm
because
like,
if you don't bend them right and you have been constantly bend every time you fish them, then yeah, they're eventually going to break.
that's
titanium plastic.
use it, big boy. Use it. So I started playing around and making my own, and I found a pretty good thing that actually worked very well. And so my thing is I don't use those cheap ass Eagle Claw swivels. I don't. I'll go the extra mile and use better Spro swivels. And my secret, I don't want to call it secret, but what I do different versus what you buy at the stores, I like a split ring between the arm and the swivel. And that does two things. It allows that bait to move a little better.
Now,
and
when
it
you say the
also-
arm, you mean at the business end, not the
Hang
head
tight.
of the A rig,
Hang
but
tight
down.
one second. I got some.
Was that? Whose dog was that? Was that Riggs or Copper?
No, it's not Copper.
Lori's turned him into a pussy.
Oh, Scott bounced.
Uh-oh.
He said, "We got Peter breaking out A rigs. I'm out of here."
Hey, Chad said it wasn't too hard for us to get the secret.
Nah, well, I don't care because most of y'all ain't gonna do this anyways. So on the A rig and the business end, I got
Split ring.
split rings. And in my opinion, I think this, well, number one, it gives more action, but I feel like that split ring actually adds a little more noise to the rig.
Show us that A rig. What's that head look like? Okay, that's a brand new A rig.
Brand new, not even bent yet.
What is that ball I'm looking at?
It's just the stopper.
There's a stopper on there?
Yeah, for the blades.
Oh, for the blades. Okay.
So yeah. So my biggest thing is I put a split ring between the swivel and the arm.
Scott, where'd you go? All right, so a little more about your A rigs. Scott's back.
I got him.
Okay, so I get out to the lake. I want to pull A rigs.
Scott's
Let's
back.
say
Secret's over.
let's say that I'm marking fish 50 feet. I can't get my A rigs down that deep. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, dadgummit, I'm gonna have to use my down rigger. People that don't have a down rigger, or even if you do have a down rigger and you just want to like utilize this technique to stagger your baits more, have you ever put any inline weights?
No.
No.
Nope.
So you don't use any.
I rely solely on my downrigger. If my downrigger can't get them, nothing else will. So I've never experimented with A rigs off the back of my boat. And to be quite frank, I don't troll A rigs on my rods. I don't. Everyone thinks that that's all I do is troll A rigs. That is false. I have a whole spread of
right,
just
just soft plastic, all soft plastics though, correct?
Correct.
All soft plastics. Yeah, you're not trolling any hard plastics, are you?
No.
Deep divers, anything like that. So,
Nothing.
so like tandems or even single soft plastic paddle
Yep,
tail.
I'll do singles
swim
and
baits.
doubles and bucktails in certain lakes as well. And all
Are you? What's your main line on those rods? Braid?
it's all lead core.
Oh, okay. So you are using lead core. My experience with lead core, it seems like it doesn't want to. You have to really put some weight. It has to be a heavy lure for lead core to work properly for it to actually pull down into the column. It's like you can't pull something that's really, really light. It just won't. It won't.
It does this thing, so you can't put anything light on there really. I mean, I use 3/8 ounce, quarter ounce, half ounce, whatever kind of is thrown at me, whatever I want deeper per se. But it definitely does the job. I mean, it basically comes down to your speed. How fast are you trolling? If you're trolling 2.5, 3 miles an hour, you're not going to get deep no matter what the hell you do.
Okay.
If you're
So
slowing
what
down,
do you think the cutoff is? About 2.5?
Mercer's going to be the right person to ask for that because he's experimented with some formulas and stuff with what he does there.
No.
I say, so for me, when I troll, I don't go slower than 1.6, I guess. I
don't go slower than 1.6.
Correct.
So you're probably gas trolling.
I am trolling with the big motor or the troll motor.
What do you do most of?
Right now, I like the big motor because it gets me a little faster.
You doing anything to slow that big motor down?
I drag a bucket in the back.
Okay.
I'll drag a 5-gallon bucket off the back of the boat there. And
that was my first drift stock. First time I ever fished Santee. I had that 24-foot pontoon. I had 6 buckets off the back of that boat.
Damn.
So Wes and Scott, y'all think y'all can compete with artificials?
I don't know.
Anytime I've ever used artificials, no matter what species, artificials outproduce. Well, most species will outproduce live bait for quantity.
Damn, Dieter.
For
Dieter
quantity.
Boy.
For quantity, okay? Like at crappie fishing, for example, you're not going to
outproduce. JR, every episode, JR, you just never surprise me with the shit you say sometimes.
You're not going to outproduce someone using live bait when it comes to crappie fishing. A guy that uses a jig is going to outproduce live bait 99 out of 100 times.
No. I get on a brush pile and drop minnows down on top of their ass. I'll kill them twice.
No, you won't. No, you won't. No, you won't. I'll outproduce you 3-1 on that. I'm not Daniel Skipper. I'm not using those. What does Daniel Skipper use? Those I'm not using those. Yeah. Fish Stalker. Yeah, I ain't using Fish Stalker. I'm using something that's better than Fish Stalker.
Artificial is artificial.
No. And that's what I was going to ask Peter is while you're trolling these A-rigs and everything, everybody's using the Super Fluke Juniors because they're cheap. They work. Is that what you're using? Or are you spending money on a specialty soft plastic?
I have a variety of a few things, but mostly 95% of the time I troll the Striper Sniper Sassy Shad.
Okay. So that's a very isolated.
Damn, Wes.
That's a very isolated brand. So not
correct.
Yeah. So you'll be the only one using that in the SBC.
Maybe there's a few guys out there. So there's that. There's also bucktails with snake worms in the back of it. Right. One thing that for me pre-fishing a lake I've never ever been on. That's one thing I got to find out for myself. Are they going to eat shad? Or are they going to eat bucktails? I don't know. So that's my big X factor.
Well, I think it may end up being the trailer is what's more important. Are you putting a curly tail grub, or
I do put curly tails on my bucktails? Yes.
Now, hey, is there a limit on? I don't know about Hartwell. I know some lakes as to how many hooks you can put on a U rig, or does that? It's only allowed to have so many hooks per bait per line.
I think it's per state, and I don't think there is a limit on SC or NC at all. I know there's not one NC. There's not one SC. There's none in Georgia. I don't think either.
Okay, Scott. So you disagree on artificials being able to outperform live bait?
No, I absolutely agree. That's 100%.
So I'm saying quantity. I'm not saying quantity. I mean quality. I'm saying quantity. I'm saying that you'll catch more, but they won't be as big. You don't agree with that?
No.
Okay. Well, tell us why.
Why not? It's real bait. It's actually what the fish are eating. It's not a reaction, but now maybe certain times of the year when you get real cold water temps and stuff, but like most of the time, if you can go over a school of fish and drop live bait down on them, you're going to catch one after another as long as you keep the school under you. But you're pulling bait, yeah, you're going to catch one or two, but then you got to bring the fish in, put your baits back out. I don't know. I mean, it's quick. It's quicker. Like when I artificial fish for like trout, I like that trout and redfish because as soon as you hook a fish, you can cast right back out. You don't have to get a bait and hook it and throw it out there.
Dieter, that's cold, bro. Let's get that off of there. It's awful nice of Scott to go live from the funeral home.
So the thing with artificial versus live bait is I control and cover a hell of a lot more water. That's a fact. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I control 2 miles an hour a live baiter at 0.8.
But when you're pulling all that water and you're pulling something that they don't want, or they'd rather have something live, what have you accomplished?
I don't know,
Finding where they're at.
Those swim baits look pretty good going through the water.
I think.
What if you come over a school, like Scott's talking about? You stay over a school with live bait. It's a lot easier. It's easier to stay over a school with live bait than it is pulling A rigs because
it works.
You
it
pull
works
through a
both
school.
ways.
You're gonna have to turn around. You're gonna have to try to come back through the school instead of just spot locking on.
It works both ways because I don't know about you guys, but this time of year, I don't see stripers sitting in one spot for a long time at all. They're not.
That's why I said time of year, like wintertime, cold water. Yeah, I think that for numbers, they'd outproduce.
I bet I know who that is.
Artificial, I can keep up with them. You know, if I make a wrong turn, they're fucking gone. But if I keep up with them,
I think it's 2 different bites. I think with slow troll and live bait, the fish are actually coming up. That's why it's more critical is your hook size, your leader, and everything else. Fish coming up, they can look at it. They can decide if they're going to eat it. With artificial, it's just natural reaction. They're either going to hit it or it's gone. So they got to make a decision. So
yeah. Now let's talk about this. All right. So we got everyone talking about, oh, the bite is great, it's awesome, yada yada. And of course, you got those guys that are bullshitting nonstop. No names to be thrown out there. We know who they are. And now it looks like it's about to dump rain there. And
it is right now.
It's dumping rain. It's going to dump rain tomorrow. And then let me finish. It's dumping rain right now.
We'll finish.
We got a cold front coming through. It's going to get cold, and we got a full moon. Now, what's that going to do to everything?
It can't hurt my bite.
Now, hang on now. I hear people say all the time, oh, it's a full moon. It's a full moon. People start saying it's a full moon a week before it's actually a full, and they'll say it's a full a week after it's full. Like, when is it technically?
I think Saturday is technically the full moon.
Friday night is a wolf moon. Yep.
The day of.
Yep.
Exactly. At what time is it 100% full? Has anyone looked?
Friday night sometime.
Friday night sometime.
So that's going to make things a lot more interesting, and that's not going to be into a lot of guys' favors, live baiters or artificial guys. But here's one thing I will say. You know, this is my opinion. The morning bite is going to suck on Saturday.
Yeah, lunchtime bite.
Oh my gosh, that's the saltwater fisherman in him talking.
That's exactly right. It's going to be a lunchtime bite.
I don't think that's necessarily true in a freshwater reservoir.
It's true in the wintertime. It is. Yep.
100%.
I think it can be. Now, what about water clarity? Is that going to play a role?
I prefer.
They're not out there. They're not out there. You know, stripers are visual eaters. They're not out there.
It ain't gonna matter for Peter. He's gonna be trolling lead core, so his water is gonna be clear. Now we'll wish them if the fish had moved to the back of the creeks, which they possibly could have with this warm trend. Will it push them out of the back of the creeks? Most likely. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
There'll be fish caught regardless, but I don't think it's going to be a wide open morning bite at all.
Well, I didn't make the registration. I didn't think about it till after midnight and got on there, and it had closed at midnight. So I didn't make the registration, but I am going to come down. Well, I was going to come down and film it. Then I realized I have the Southeastern this weekend.
Boo.
And I'm fishing that trail. And I told Wes I was going to come down and hang out with him and go to the captain's, but I forgot all about the Southeastern Trail this weekend. Boo. Unless Alan wants to fish it without me.
Boo. Dude, the last 4 or 5 times me and you were supposed to do something together, you say you're pretty much in, and then at the last minute you had something else to do that you forgot about. You need to stay off that liquor, homeboy. Listen. I don't have a Rolodex. Number 2, I don't give a fuck. I noticed. So I don't keep like a calendar and like write things down like a responsible adult or anything. I just go by what's up here. And if you ask me something, I'm like, yeah, of course. And then like later on, I'm like, oh yeah, I have that tournament this weekend. So that happens, you know. If you're gonna be friends with JR, that's what you have to prepare yourself for.
creeks will be blown out. I'm thinking that too, Thomas. I'm thinking they are going to be blown out. My prediction is though probably the biggest weigh-in at Hartwell since the first year. I think it'll be 28, 30 pounds.
2 fish.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that. Seeing the numbers, I'm gonna say 26, 28 pounds. Yes.
Wait a
I
minute.
think
What won it last year?
it was like, I don't know, what was it, 20?
22 pounds.
So you're going close to 10 pounds over what won it last year? Why?
Weather.
It's not that cold right now. That's why.
I mean, we've had
Anytime you have cold front, like it's winter, it's technically winter. December 21st was the first day of winter. And normally January it's cold. So we've had a warm front. Anytime you have a warm front in late December or January, even February, early February, that typically means really, really good fishing. So this weekend during the tournament on Saturday, it's going to be warm.
it's a cold front, but it's not a big cold front. It's like
It's a cold front, but it's seasonal temperatures.
Yeah.
Seasonal temperatures. Okay. What's the low Friday night?
Like 35 maybe.
Saturday morning, 35. And you guys think that the bite's going to be good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's all the microorganisms in the back
No,
of the creek.
I don't think so. If you're talking about a low of 35 at blast off or at the beginning of the tournament, it's going to be in the 30s.
Yeah, but
the bite's not going to be good.
They've had 60-degree weather all week. Sun's been out.
Personally,
I don't know.
I wish the temperatures were in the 20s.
If the tournament was tomorrow,
No.
then I would say it's going to be absolutely awesome. I bet the bite is absolutely fire right now. That's why I wanted to go out there tonight and do the show from the water. It's because anytime you get a warm front in late December, early January, fishing is fire.
Hey, Dieter, I sent you a request just in case you want to come on.
Dieter, I'm not pre-fishing any for this tournament. I fished one day last week, and I got to work every day, so I'm just winging it. Giving Peter a chance to win my bourbon.
Shit. Yeah, you got your bourbon, speaking of which. I got it right here. Look at it. That's right. Oh.
Man, it looks half empty.
Matter of fact, I'm a little congested right now. Hang tight.
That's comment of the night right there.
There we go.
I know.
Hey, guys, I believe last week y'all had to break some kind of record because y'all was on here till like 1:30 in the morning. Y'all that show ran for 5 hours.
5 hours.
Yeah.
We didn't have to work. We were off.
Vacation, baby.
You got to work tomorrow, Scott?
Oh, yeah. Every day.
Your ass will be off at 9 o'clock tonight, won't you?
Maybe 9:20 if I'm interested.
Surely Scott's got several friends down there that'll tell him, hey, you need to go over here. You need to fish here.
Yeah.
They'll tell you.
No. All my friends are tournament fishermen. If they tell me something, I know to go the opposite way.
Hey,
It don't matter how close a friend they are not going to play with their own money. Promise.
I've seen 2 striper fishermen, and I'm gonna say their names. I'm gonna call them out. I see Chris Brown, Daniel Skipper coming up 85 today, so you know they on the upper end of the lake.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God, boy. I bet they're like, shut up.
I'm not fishing it. I don't give a damn.
They're gonna be calling you. They're gonna be calling you, hey, bud. Don't be saying that on the show, man.
Daniel Skipper will talk to me. Skipper will give me what's going on, but he ain't gonna give me 100%. He'll give me 85.
J.C. Crowder said, hold on a minute.
You liar, JC.
Yeah, he don't trust midgets. I'm telling you cannot trust a damn midget.
I can promise you can look at my phone. I ain't called nobody and ain't gonna. They can call me and tell me stuff, and I'll half believe it. But this tournament, man, I wouldn't tell nobody nothing. They're not gonna tell me nothing. That's the fun part about it.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Get lucky. Drop on them.
Yeah.
Actually, I am gonna fish. I've fished Lake Hartwell for almost 20 years, 18 years, and I'm gonna fish a creek or it ain't even really a creek. It's a section of the lake that I've never fished before.
Oh, wow. That won't be hard to figure out. So, Scott,
No, I'm just saying.
let me ask you this.
I'm fishing a big tournament in a creek I've never fished. That's stupid, I know, but I like it.
Do you already have your bait?
No.
When are you going to go get your bait?
Saturday morning.
Oh, my God. The morning of the tournament?
Mm-hmm.
You lying.
Wow.
So you think there'll be any big bait left when you get there?
Wow, I don't care if there is or not.
Really? So you're just gonna take some half-ass small bait and just fish small bait because it's cold. Their metabolism isn't as high, and they're a little more lethargic because it's cold. And you're gonna go, small bait. Yeah, you're gonna do that in the tournament. Yeah. Why? You just want to show up with respect. You're not trying to win it. I see. Okay.
Well, JR,
Why are you going to go there and not try to win it?
I got a question. What's the difference if he buys it the night before or the morning?
Well, because they probably got some bigger ones there, and they're going to sell out quick. They're going to sell out this week. Everybody's going to go to the Lake Hartwell Outdoor Center. They're going to get the biggest baits they got. They're going to be gone. You're going to pull up in there.
Because they got some mongos in there right now that are about 14 to 15
They
inches.
won't be in there by Friday. They'll be gone.
They ain't a fish in Hartwell that can eat a 14-inch gizzard.
Yes,
Bet
there
your ass
is.
on that.
Yes, there is. And
Bet
the
your
guys
ass
that
on
pull
that.
those will be the guys that win the tournament.
Shit.
Yeah.
JR, there's bigger gizzard at Lake Hartwell Outdoor Center than there are.
Mark my words, the guy the person that wins the tournament, it won't be pulling artificials. He won't be pulling dollar bill or 6-inch, 4-inch shad or herring. He'll be pulling 15-inch Mongo gizzard shad.
Wasn't it just like 10 minutes ago you said that you do not believe 28 pounds will win? You think 20 pounds like it was last
I was
So
questioning
we're going to
you.
be fishing with these 10-pound fish.
I was
14
questioning
inches.
you because you said that 30 pounds was going to win it. That's 10 pounds more than last year. I wanted to know why you thought that.
I told you. We got good weather. We finally got good weather coming into one of these. Even though the full moon sucks and it's not a huge cold. It ain't a 20-degree drop. I mean, it's like a 10-degree drop. So, and it's dropping Friday. So it's going to be cold Friday and Saturday. So it ain't the first day of the cold front. I just think it's going to be
If you want to get good info on this tournament, do like James Long did last year. Get Brian Bear on speed dial and call him every 20 minutes. Because James had his ass on speed dial last year. I bet
listen, he wasn't the only one.
James called me, or did he call you? He called you.
James was calling everybody.
Yeah, and told us everything that Brian Bear was doing.
I bet Scott and Brian Bear like this.
Yeah, he
because
said,
listen,
Bear's doing so much. And
listen,
James said, I got his ass on speed dial today.
If Dieter's still listening, I think that he would agree with this. Tournament fishing is all about the ego.
Well, you and Dieter don't tournament fish, so why would we even listen to you?
The money part is kind of
you do not tournament fish, JR. Dieter does not tournament fish.
I have fished every tournament on the Southeastern Trail this year.
You can say whatever you want. That's how saying live bait or artificials outperform live bait.
Okay, I've never fished a trail, Scott, but I have gotten into
a tournament. Looking for
tournament. I have won tournaments. I've won 2 tournaments. I've fished tournaments. I've never fished a trail. Yeah, I'm not an adamant tournament angler like yourself, but I've fished.
Well, then how do you have an opinion about
it? Here and there. Why do I have an opinion about it? Because, my opinion is based off of the little experience that I have fishing tournaments. How's that? Is that okay? Can I finish now?
Go ahead, finish. You're gonna anyways.
Okay. If I can remember what I was even saying. Fishing tournaments is like it's like gambling. It's legalized gambling. It's all it is. And not only is it gambling, but it's stroking your ego. So and I can prove that. Look at the guys that have cheated in tournaments. None of them have been poor. So it's never been about the money. It's been about that ego.
Everything. People cheat at bingo.
Yeah, when you fish a tournament, and there again, I know a lot of it's got to do with skill. You know, Pete's going to be trying to tweak the artificial thing. A lot of people there. I'm sure Pete's not going to be the only one using artificial baits.
Heck no.
We're going to have people using live bait. But at the end of the day, one reason I don't really care for tournament fishing, mainly because I don't like being on nobody's clock. I'm on a clock and I feel under pressure. Secondly, I don't like betting on what a fish will do, because out of those, I'm sure 100 plus boats maybe are close to it. At least 75 of them boats are probably going to be fishing the same way, doing the same shit, just in a different area, and you're betting on where the fish is going to be.
I agree. That's the same thing with going out saltwater fishing.
Exactly.
You're doing the same thing. I mean,
yeah, but I'm not on nobody's clock. I'm not, you know, I can do what I want to do. I'm not on the
fishermen. They're doing the same thing, different areas.
But I'm not on nobody else's clock. I didn't have to pay this big entry fee. I'm gonna go out there and do what I want to and take all the time I want to.
Well, if you like to tournament fish like I do, and I don't even tournament fish anymore just because I don't have time. But if you like to tournament fish,
yeah,
it elevates at another level from regular fishing.
Yeah.
If I catch a 20-pounder out fishing, I take pictures of it, put it on Facebook, throw it back. It was great. But if I drag a 20-pounder into a weigh-in, it's just a high. I mean, landing that fish in a tournament it's a high. It's like jumping out of an airplane, I guess.
In the back of your mind, you're thinking, boy, look here, if nobody else has caught a fish like this, I'm going to win this tournament.
You don't understand the stress that goes on tournament fishing with striper too. It's like, I got two fish now. Is the bite good or is the bite suck?
Yeah, you don't know what anybody else is doing. I always think if it's easy and I'm on fish and I'm catching good fish, everybody is. That's, and that's usually true.
All right, Scott, Pete, y'all tournament fish. Y'all going to be fishing in this tournament. Is y'all's, and there again, I'm not really trying to ask you what you're going to do, but will y'all try to go and catch two fish first thing and then try for bigger fish, or you just going to try for big fish off the muscle, or what's your game plan?
My game plan for pulling artificial is to find a morning bite and just keep on catching until that bite fizzles out. And then from there, search for a big fish.
Scott?
I found a creek with some good sized bait in it, not just like threadfin bait, some decent sized bait and some fish. And I'm going to pull it probably all day. So I'm just looking for two bucks.
You can tell it's tournament time. Scott's already in asshole mode. I mean, just look how he's been treating me tonight. He is ready. You fish with Scott, you are fucked. I know Mike ain't going to come down and get on the North River this year.
No.
Who's fishing with you? Just you and Heather? Are you?
Yeah.
Heather? Is Heather fishing with you? Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
I was laughing here moments ago because someone in my comments said, as far as the where to fish on Hartwell, you don't talk about Scott. Someone said find the blue bean and pull your boards as close as possible to him. He's a super nice guy. He won't mind. It was Corey, actually. I see him comment there.
Yeah, he's right.
Oh, did you guys see that boat run into Mercer's boards?
Yeah.
Nah, I wouldn't handle that.
It looked like a boat.
Mercer's a super nice guy, I tell you.
Super nice guy. It looked like a boat towing another boat.
Yeah.
Was it a boat towing a boat? Because they were back to back going through.
I saw that the pontoon, that skiff, and maybe they're following each other or something.
I think maybe they were under tow, and that was just the short. Maybe that was the shortest line. And he was just like, sorry guys, the shortest line.
But he didn't say sorry. He was mouthing off at him.
Hey, Scott.
Oh, yeah, that's not cool.
It says Perry is right. He was there when I weighed in the biggest fish I ever have. There's nothing like it. Who is that? It just says Facebook user. Do you know who that is?
That might be Daniel Rush. Probably Daniel Rush.
All right.
Well, we got 33 people watching, Wes.
Yeah. And
everybody wants to know what the fish
by the way, I got to add something. So technically, as far as the rules of the water goes, a boat under tow has got the right of way no matter what.
The boat towing has the right of way.
The boat under tow has the right of way no matter what. Yeah. So technically, that's the rules of the water.
Yeah, I think that I just want to say that may have been just an anomaly.
Yeah.
But the guy, Scott said the guy was mouthing off to him. That wasn't cool.
No, I mean, if the dude was like, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't see your boards, I ran up on you, I'd be fine with that. I wouldn't have no problem. But if you're going to say, why are you taking up the whole river, blah, 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 no.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Damn you do, damn you don't. It's just
I had a guy do me that way. I was fishing on Clark's Hill, and I was coming out from under the bridge there in what is that, Georgia Little River, the part that branches off down there at the bottom. I was way back in the back of it. I was coming out from that bridge, out from underneath that bridge, and I had a huge spread out. And I hadn't been striper fishing long. I didn't know any better. I mean, I had boards out a mile, and this guy came by and he got in my boards and he was like mouthing something to me, and I was like, I don't even remember what he said, but I felt like it was my fault because I was new at striper fishing, and I was like, I shouldn't have had my boards out that far, but. So I guess if you're in the back of a creek, you probably shouldn't run 3 sets of boards all the way up to the bank and take up the entire creek pulling out of it. You know what I mean?
Well, if you're in a creek pulling boards and you hear a boat coming, you should pull in one side. That's what I do. I pull in one side. I mean, I'm not going to block a creek, but if it looked like Mercer's out in the middle of the damn river.
Yeah, he looked like he was in the middle of the river. Yeah.
And maybe the dude didn't see him, but if he didn't see him, damn, I'm sorry, would work wonders on the water.
Oh, yeah. Man, you would be surprised. Well, I mean, you guys obviously fish, so you've had it done to you. But, man, I've had guys, man, especially bass fishermen, be extremely disrespectful. Like, I know that if it would have been anybody else other than myself, they would have probably jumped on their boat and beat them or shot them. I mean, I've had guys just within 30 feet and just run over every line I got. It's like they don't even care. They're like, your reels are running drag, your tank, they got your lines, they're on top of you, and man, they don't care. That's your problem. You would, they look at us cat fishermen or anybody that's cut baiting, they look at us as we're way beneath them and we should not be in their way.
I mean, I try to be respectful in creeks because I am taking up 100 foot of the creek. So if I hear a boat, you can hear a boat coming, and I give them the creek channel side, pull your boards tight. If you're in a narrow creek, I mean, you got to be respectful, but sometimes it don't matter. They'll run over you anyways.
Hey, years ago, I was going down 6 and 20. And Laricky Harkness, you know how wide it is right there where TJ's used to be, the restaurant there. Laricky Harkness had the whole fucking creek blocked up. Dude, he had 8 boards on both sides all the way out to the banks.
Oh, my God.
And in line when he says he'll block a whole creek with 12 boards, that's a fact.
Well,
damn, Laricky.
Bass fishermen love that creek, so I'm sure he's caught a few bass boats doing that.
Yeah.
I had a buddy pulling 2 boards in that creek, and the bass boat came up and ran over his boards.
All right, well, it's been a good show, guys. I'm just kidding. So whose boat is faster, Scott, yours or Peter's?
I didn't know we had a speed competition. I don't even go fast in my boat usually anyways. So,
I just want to know, in case you guys are taking off, you're trying to get to the same area.
I'm going to tell you right now, if I see Scott on the water, I'm going to come up to him, and I'm going to flip him the damn bird.
You might as well come up to me and throw that bottle of liquor in the boat.
Damn, son.
Well, I mean,
yeah, whatever.
Look at our last SBC video. Scott is not going to fish where anybody's at. So if you beat him to the spot,
what's the bet? What's the bet with the liquor? Who's betting what? Pete, you're betting what?
It's a winner take all situation. Whoever is the winner of the group gets all the liquor.
So since it's just me and Pete, we're just pretty much exchanging liquor.
That's it. I was hoping to get Wes and JR involved, but that ain't happening because they're pussies.
I have to fish the Southeastern, but hopefully the HSBC won't be on the same date as the Southeastern, so I'll be able to get in it.
Nah.
And if I do, Mr. Peter, that's only a month away. We'll kick your fucking ass, brother.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Game on, baby.
Your ass is kicked, my man.
Game on.
I agree, Skipper. Cut baiters are sorry ass people.
Oh, while Daniel Skipper's on here, Skipper, if you're still here, what do you think catches better or more fish, artificial or live?
You know his answer.
He does it with both.
He's
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
agree with me. He's going to say quantity artificial, quality live.
I
He
don't believe
pulled
that.
A-rigs. Skipper, your shit ain't faster. Your transmission's gonna fall off that piece of shit.
God damn.
Hey, I seen him going up 85 tonight. Motor was browsing up and down. I don't know.
I bet they're in a tight bolt on that boat.
I seen that damn boat in person. That shit's a damn tank. I ain't gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. That's what kind of boat I would buy. If I were to buy a new boat, it would be Skipper's boat. If I had the money.
You got the money, just sign your name.
Damn.
Yeah. I wish I had it like that.
What's
Yeah,
wrong?
All right,
with
so
this
I
chunk?
went over to the dark side and signed my name for a piece of shit Chevrolet.
So what do you think? I mean, I agree with that. Chevys are pieces of shit. Ford is a man's truck. But moving on.
Crazy as hell.
So Scott, what would you like as far as a soft plastic? What would be your go-to brand if you were going to pull A rigs or tandem rigs or just a swim bait by itself? What would be your go-to soft plastic? Would it be Kitech? Would it be Gambler?
I don't even know none of that.
Zoom?
I would pull a bucktail.
What kind of trailer?
Fuck, I don't know.
No
Something
trailer?
like-
Just a bucktail, no trailer?
I don't know. A twisty, curvy tail one.
I want to say that Scott, as big of a tournament fisherman as Scott is, and Scott is one of the biggest tournament fishermen that I know. He's won a lot of tournaments. He's won the points championship at least once. The guy's won a shitload of money tournament fishing. I want to say Scott might know like a very, very little about artificial fishing.
That's true.
Very, very little.
That's
Yes.
true.
That's
You know,
good.
and
I put a Z-man. A Z-man.
Pete, if all your artificials fail, I'm telling you, guaranteed, and everybody in South Carolina will swear by it. Get you a fucking banjo minute and thank me later.
God damn.
Skipper said a Zoom G-tail ringer.
Ringers.
Fuck that
Sounds
All right.
good.
Well, hey, Daniel Skipper's the guy to ask. Daniel Skipper, favorite soft plastic swim bait for not for like throwing, like as like a lure, but trolling, whether it be a tandem, single by itself, or on an A rig. What would be your go-to paddle tail soft plastic?
See that thing? Action.
That is an off-brand Kitech swing impact.
It's got like grooves on it.
Yeah.
I don't
work.
watch.
They
That
work
looks like
great.
that damn cheap shit that was sent out for free by what's that company called?
They
Fucking
work great,
Soft
but
Straw.
you're about good for one fish. Like every fish you catch,
No,
you have to replace it.
them are Z-man. They stretch like Stretch Armstrong. You can't get them off the hook.
Larry Hartness said, "Clothes hanger with lures." I mean, that's pretty much all it is. But the thing is, though, those soft plastics has such an awesome action to them. Like they don't even care. They're not even looking at the wire. They're looking at that awesome bait that's going through the water.
Yeah.
That's right. Be right back.
So
Man,
there's
Joe
a
Mann-
lot more finesse with the whole trolling artifact. Oh, where'd he go? Thank God.
He-
Thank God.
I pissed him off. He left.
Yeah. So Wes, you're asking. Oh shit, he's back. Shh.
I had to
Mercer's here. No, that's not Mercer. It's him.
A fucking banjo minnow will catch fish and all that other bullshit y'all use.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, it's guaranteed every cast, brother.
Goddamn
You see the
helicopter
commercial?
lure, baby.
Hey, and if it don't,
Hey, I seen. Go ahead,
if it don't catch fish every cast, tell them, Scott, you get a full refund, right?
That's right.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Hey, Peter, I seen these bass guys are putting chatterbaits on their A rigs.
Are they?
Yeah.
Man, you know, that sounds good and all, but at the end of the day, try to keep it as cheap as possible.
That's right.
I'm not losing $20 or $30 every time I break one off, you know?
And I think, like you say, it's mostly a reaction strike. So I think if you got the color they like with the little tail action,
You know, one thing I used to do way back in the day when I first started trolling artificial is I actually on my A rigs or actually U rigs back then, I put these dollar spinner baits on there, and they caught pretty fucking good too.
Hey guys, I just got a picture. There was a 30-pound fish. I know where it's at, literally on Hartwell today. A 30-pound fish was caught on Hartwell today. I just got the picture.
Cool.
I just checked my text, Daniel.
It happens.
Like I hate to be the guy. Free fishing hero tournament day 0.
That gives me confidence. The guy
yeah.
No, he said he'd rather be
like old Bears catching several 20s every day, but then again, it's just him fucking running his mouth, probably, you know.
No, I just seen the picture. He's legit.
And
that's a nice fish for Hartwell.
Huh?
That restores my faith in the old piss hole.
Well, Hartwell had some 28s caught last year pre-fishing.
Huh?
There was a 28 caught last year pre-fishing.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought that I removed you. Wes put me back on, didn't he? Okay.
Yeah, I thought it just booted you off, bud.
Tell you a little secret, man. Corona. You take a Corona, take you a swig. Get you some the Serrano.
The fuck?
Get you some of that.
He's gonna be slobbering in the microphone here in about 30 minutes.
Put some Bacardi lime in there.
Pour. Just take a swig, a good swig out of your Corona, and then put you. I don't know about yay much in there, like that.
Damn, one more of them, and you're gonna tell me all about tournament fishing.
Damn.
You want to hear something cool?
You gonna pull it back?
You know what's so special about these?
What's that?
Tastes just like Dr. Pepper. Just like Dr. Pepper. Identical. It's like I'm drinking Dr. Pepper.
Just pour a shot.
A lot of women like drinks that taste good.
There we go.
Just like Dr. Pepper. I'm not lying to you.
Just like whiskey.
So hold on. Let's go back to this Dieter comment. We had a Dieter comment earlier. Let's go back to that one.
Go back to JC's.
Right here. Yeah, see, y'all are lucky JR is not fishing. He would smoke y'all. Listen at his knowledge. Comment of the night. That is the comment of the night. He was not being a smartass, right? He was being genuine. He meant that sincerely. Okay. JC said, I didn't know they sold it. They do sell it to men.
Valid question here, Scott. I see.
Hey, Scott.
Or Seneca.
Oh, Lord. Listen, there's a difference between asking questions for like scientific information to educate people. There's a difference between doing that and actually trying to like get advice for the tournament.
Listen, Pete,
Pete's over there trying to get advice for the tournament.
I know where I'm going.
There's fish in the Tougaloo and there's fish in the Seneca. It's just where they're at.
Tell him, Wes.
Yeah, there's fish in both rivers. I mean,
yeah, I might as well be asking.
I will answer it. I normally fish the Tougaloo mainly because there's usually less boat traffic.
Yeah.
You know why I would be asking Wes over Scott for advice on the SBC?
Because he's an old vet.
No,
because I don't have a dog in that fight.
It's not because he's an old. The biggest reason is because he doesn't have a dog in that fight. The second reason is Scott knows that son-of-a-bitch so well. Like you could drain Lake Hartwell, and Scott Perry could walk a section of it, at least a third of it, and like know where to like lift his leg up higher at certain places. And
that's what concerns me about all this. That's why I'm drinking this bottle.
Yeah. So somebody that knows something that well, they're gonna micromanage way too much. They're gonna shoot themselves in the foot every time. Somebody like Wes Wes knows it, but he doesn't know every single little detail like Scott does. So I want to listen to Wes because I want to make my own assumptions. I want to make my own. I just need Wes to point me in the right direction, get me in the vicinity.
Oh man, come on.
Scott his mind is like because he's tournament fished so much. He's got so many different scenarios running through his head. Anything he tells you is going to be one of a million thoughts he's got going on in his head. That's my opinion.
I'm a fisherman just like Scott is, just like anyone else is. It's like a puzzle piece. I mean,
James Long's on here. James Long, tell him how you come in. You placed last year because you had Brian Bear on speed dial, and you let us. We knew everything Brian Bear was doing as soon as he did it.
Was that last year or the year before last?
Last year,
or both. I think it was the year before last too.
I don't know, but I know last year.
Did James Long fish artificials last year too? I know he fished artificials. Was it last year or the year before?
Last year was the best time to use artificial when it's cold and windy and nasty.
We all knew what Brian Bear was going to weigh in before he weighed in, and James, we appreciate that.
Listen.
That's a fact, Ricky. That's a fact.
Listen,
fishing any pre-fishing before Thursday is probably a waste of time.
That's why I don't understand why these guys spend a whole fucking week down there to pre-fish, because that damn weather changes, the fish move, the water rises, falls, gets muddy, rain, cold.
Listen, it's all luck. It all comes down to who's
luck,
lucky.
But yet it's skill, because you got to know
there is
what you're looking for.
Listen. It is nice having skill, but you got to have luck too. You got to have luck. The skill helps, but nothing beats luck. Nothing.
You got to
no amount of skill beats luck.
As I always say, you got to wiggle the worm the right way.
It's nice having all that skill, and you can go, but it's a gamble. It's a gamble. You're like, I think the fish should be here.
I'm just gonna find the blue bean and troll fucking circles around that son of a bitch.
I'll tell you where I'll call
the blue bean's going to be where most of the fish are.
Lucky.
The blue bean is that he likes when these SBCs. I don't know about all these other tournaments that he's won and these trails that he's fished, but when it comes to the SBC, the blue bean wants to show up with respect. He's not fishing it to win it. He's fishing it to show up with respect.
No,
so don't follow the blue bean unless you're just trying to show up with respect. If you're trying to win the damn thing, go way far away from the blue bean.
Did you not hear that I haven't, and I'm not going to pre-fish all week? I can't. I'm working. So how am I going to be on the fish?
Local knowledge.
Scott, I would love for you to go out with the mindset of, I don't care if I get skunked. I would love to see that. I would much rather see Scott Perry get skunked than to come in 30th place.
I like how you just know my mind. Like, you know what I'm doing.
Well, listen. What place did we come in?
That's absolutely not what I'm doing.
I fished the SBC with you last year. What place did we come in?
30-something?
30th or 35th? 34th. Yeah.
Do you think I was happy with that?
No, I do not. I do not. But you did show up with some respect because there was over 100.
There ain't no respect.
To show up 30th place.
No respect. You might as well be skunked.
30th place when there's over 100 boats in a tournament is not bad. That's not
JR. We've went over this. Take another drink. Put your headphones on a little tighter. We pre-fished 3 days that week, and the quality,
you and Mike pre-fished.
The best quality of fish and groups of fish we found is we fished.
Y'all were looking for quantity. Y'all found
schools. Wes, tell him you went pre-fishing with us. What were we looking for? Schooly fish?
No,
not schooly. Y'all found schools. Y'all found fish. You know as well as I do. The guys that win the tournament, they're not catching fish that they marked.
You must do interviews because you ain't won no damn tournaments.
Damn.
What the hell you know about it?
He knows I'm right.
What do you know about it, Jim?
He knows I'm right.
You don't know shit about it. Nothing.
I've been around guys that have
won. You've been around guys at catfish tournament. Well, good for you. You know nothing about striper tournaments.
Rob Hedrick was my best friend for years.
Yeah,
How many tournaments on the SBC trail did he win?
None, because he fished
A lot.
he fished the SBCC, different tournament trail.
Oh, I thought it was the same tournament trail. Okay, I don't know shit. Carry on.
Yeah. Chug. Oh, Wes is struggling back there.
It's funny. You fucking alcoholics are judging me for drinking. You drink bourbon like it's fucking water, and Peter drinks whatever like it's water and IPAs and everything else. You guys,
but you're talking nonsense.
Drink. You guys are making me seem like a drunk over here.
You're talking nonsense.
Drink more than I do.
I can to get Scott left.
Okay? You talk nonsense. Yeah, that's right. He did win the first SBC on Murray.
That's right. And what was he pulling? What was he pulling? Where was JR when he won that? JR was hanging out with him at his house, helping him build his bait tanks, helping him pour the gravel, helping him set up his tanks, helping him get the oxygen right, helping him set up his plumbing, watching the giant gizzard shad that he won that tournament with, swimming his bait tank. I was there amongst them, brother.
Okay, well, listen. Hey, Scott, tell us the story of how, we talk about McKenna Creek. Tell us the story of how that got started.
Yeah, I want to hear that because McKenna Creek sucks.
Me and Patrick and Shane pre-fishing for a tournament on Clark's Hill. We caught some good fish, and we were drinking McKenna out the bottle.
Why? It's gut. That's what do you call it? Rock gut. That's rock gut.
Can anybody hear JR? All I see is this. I don't hear nothing.
Rock gut McKenna. No,
anyway, we posted some pictures, and everybody wanted to know where we were, so we told them we were in McKenna Creek because we had to borrow the McKenna, and so I think everybody was searching the map looking for McKenna Creek for a while there.
Hey, do you remember the night before we fished when me and Patrick fished it? The year before, me and him and Tony, we went out and camped out that night about 12 o'clock that night, and it started pouring down rain on us. So we parked under these people's boat dock, and I cooked breakfast on the boat and everything. So we'd be, we had this all planned out. Well, before we fished, Patrick and Shane would not tell me where we were going to fish. I said, "What? Why is it such a big deal?" And he said, "I'll tell you, we're going to fish by the Red Roof." So I got on fucking Google Maps, and I'm looking.
You found that red roof, didn't you?
No, not the one. I found the Red Roof, all right, but not the. I thought they were talking about the Red Roof Inn Motel because there's a Red Roof Inn Motel right there.
Nah, that's about the top of a dock.
It was on the other side in the back of the creek, and there was a fucking boat dock back there with a red roof on it. Yeah. And that's the one we wound up getting under.
Something about the red roof docks are the best. That's the same way on Lake Norman. At the community hole in Rocky Creek on Lake Norman's a red roof. You probably know which one I'm talking about, Peter.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, everybody. I call it the community light.
So it's got the other dock. It's kind of funny. I think it used to be red roof. It's changed now. I don't know, but there's now a little sign on the actual dock that says the Admiral. So we call it the Admiral's Dock.
No, hey Daniel Skipper, we had talked about fishing that place 2 weeks before Josh ever went in there and caught a fish. And I'll tell you that morning or that afternoon when all that got started between Josh and Patrick, I thought Patrick was going to kill that boy. I mean, hell,
Josh who?
The funny thing, I made a video about that. I made a video in a tournament in there, and that's how I got called the Red Roof Inn, because if you go back and look at one of my old videos, it's got that red dock. You can see it, and Lariki found it, and T. Evans found it.
It's so funny, because that's what I call the dock on Norman is the Red Roof Inn. It's the similarities are uncanny there.
Yeah, we had planned to fish there, I think, 2 weeks before Josh ever caught that fish. And then we were out there fishing because we camped out that night to fish that spot. And then Josh came back up in there and seen us. And then he had put something on Facebook. I forgot what it was. And then him in there, him and Patrick was into it. So
Patrick's got into it with several guys. Larry Harness said Patrick want to kill everybody. That's the truth.
So
What's the
what
matter?
makes a good tournament partner?
There's no such thing.
Yeah, there is.
There's no such thing.
Yeah,
I don't
there
know. I feel like me and Scott would make good tournament. Me,
No,
me
I
and
don't think
Wes,
so.
me and
I don't
Wes
think
would
so.
make good. I think all three of us, any of you guys, I would make a good tournament partner. If
I will say,
if
say
I was
this,
like really wanting to fish the tournament, I didn't want to film. I didn't want to be a camera guy. Like I wanted to actually like take it seriously and be the. I think that we would all make good partners, all four of us.
You just said that you would do the opposite of everything I would do. And then
Well,
you think
no, I would pick your.
Does the back
I would
of the
make
creek warm up or cool down faster?
Listen, you're gonna have if I got an idea,
Micro
and you got an
orgasms, are they in the
idea,
back or the front?
I want you to tell me why your idea is better than my idea, and you're gonna have to explain it scientifically. I mean, and I feel like all three of you guys could do that with me. As long as you can do that with me, then I'm good. If you can tell me why your place is better than what the place that I picked, then I am 100%. I'm there. I'm going to know that place just as good, if not better, than you do.
Well,
if you can prove to me why your place is better.
Let me say this on JR's behalf. Out of all the people I fish with, and I did a lot of fishing, me and JR get along good together on a boat. JR is not lazy on a boat. He's the first one to go up there and want to put the trolling motor down. He's the first one to get it up. He's the first one that's got a net to net a fish. And he's never second guessed. I said, JR, what do you think about it? You want to try it here? Hey, fuck it. Let's try it right here.
Listen, I've been the mule. I've been the mule my entire fishing career, pretty much. Around 2016, I started fishing on my own. But 2015, it's about when my cousin got out of it. When my cousin got out of it, JR was lost. JR didn't know what the fuck to do. JR was like, okay, fuck, I guess I'll go catfishing. I kind of always wanted to catfish. My cousin never wanted to catfish, so I guess I'm just going to go catfishing. That's when I started blowing up the catfish world. Before that, I was my cousin's mule. I was a mule for 15 years. For 15 long years, I was a mule. That's what I was growing up. I was adopted. I never got accepted as a Wilson. My stepdad's name was Wilson. I never got accepted as a Wilson. So I overachieved like a motherfucker. Because I even when I was overachieving, I didn't realize I was overachieving. I'm like, God damn, I'm fucking better than every fucking body. Why ain't nobody giving me no credit? It's because I'm a goddamn bastard child. That's why. Well, guess what? When I retired when my cousin retired and got married and had kids and decided to get out of it, and JR went on his own, well, the mule went out on his own. And when the mule went out on his own,
well, it's been a good show.
He fucking did good. Then he met Wes Rose. Like I call shit the way I see it.
I remember my first Corona.
Listen, I know that you probably remember, Wes, when I was at the beach one year. This has been about 5 years ago. I was at the beach, and Patrick Miller, like I was just this nice guy. I was a fucking mule. I was this dumb mule, and I got out on my own. I started doing some YouTube videos. Well, Patrick Miller flamed me. This motherfucker flamed me. I wasn't used to this, and this son of a bitch just I'm like, dude, that's the opposite of who the fuck I don't know who you're talking to, but man, I will kill you. And then Wes Rose is out here catching all these fish, and everybody's like giving him a hard time. I'm like, man, Wes Rose is slapping.
JR, we're off. You're supposed to be leading this, and you're way the fuck
lost. So anyway, Scott, what makes a good tournament partner? Obviously, you were kind of like me, where you're very choosy of who fishes with you in a tournament. I got one person that I trust for striper tournaments, and he is actually fishing with me this weekend.
Oh, he's bringing his one guy, the one guy that he can fish with. He's bringing his one guy that he can fish with. Scott, are you bringing? You're bringing your wife.
That if I'm pre-fishing, or if he's pre-fishing with me,
I think you should bring Sumo. I think it should be you, Sumo, and Heather on the boat. Why are you holding your head down? Did you and Sumo?
Let the man talk. Let the man talk. God.
I am. Guys, listen, this is the way radio works. We interrupt each. You have to be a professional interrupter. You have to be able to flow with it.
No,
So-
Daniel, he is staying home. Sorry to bust your bubble there.
I like a good tournament partner to me is somebody that has faith in me, faith in the decision I make, and not questioning me the whole time. And if they pre-fish with me, then we make a decision together. But if I'm pre-fishing, then don't be second guessing me the whole time, so I can't concentrate.
The perfect tournament partner would be somebody that's got a boat. You got to have a boat, first of all. You have to have proven yourself, second of all. You have to have proven yourself. Thirdly, yes, you have to believe in me. But I also have to believe in you. That's the number 4. That's the 4 rules.
You lost count, homeboy.
That's the 4
You're like on
rules.
2
right
and
there.
the 4 fingers went up.
Listen, you guys, listen. Scott has fished solo or with his wife most of the time. He's got a partner named Sumo that you don't ever see anymore. Peter, nobody's ever seen your partner. You don't fish with partners. No, you don't. You got a guy that you fish with sometimes. That's your faithful. It's your go-to. It's your safe space. But predominantly, you don't fish with a partner. Wes fishes with me. You guys see what happens when Wes and I fish together. Wes has had a lot of success without me, but when Wes fishes with me, he has success. When you have to find a guy that you can mesh with. And if you can't mesh with him, then you have to just give it time, and eventually you'll mesh, hopefully.
Yeah, I agree.
Scott, look, I don't flame Scott. He done got up and walked off.
Well, I probably went to mix him a drink.
He might have. So Scott's fishing with his wife. Wes is not fishing in it, and Peter is fishing with it. Daniel Skipper's fishing with it. Everybody knows that. Is James Long? Does anybody know if James Long is going to fish in it?
Who cares?
James
He's a
Long.
bastard. Everybody gives a damn.
James Long's already got Brian Barrett on speed dial again.
I don't know James Long, but I feel like he'll spend more time playing on fucking TikTok than he will fishing. That's
Listen,
me,
James fished some with his son. James is a good dad.
No, he don't fish with his son.
He's fished with his son as far as the bass fishing.
No, that's his nephew.
Okay, well, his nephew. But as far as like James Long fishing for what James Long wants to fish for, it's striper. And when he gets in the striped bass challenge, he doesn't fish with his nephew or his son. He fishes.
I fish with Kenny Weaver.
He fishes with another striper fisherman. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'll drink to that.
Now I can handle
even distribution right here.
What was it, JR? What were you saying? I missed it.
I don't know.
Damn.
I'm too drunk to remember.
Thank God. Don't get us started. So my fishing partner, my ideal fishing partner is you ain't got to tell him what the fuck to do. If it's got to get done, he'll fucking jump on it.
Guys, we're over an hour into the show, and we have 30 people watching with 14
All right,
likes.
go ahead, Peter. I'm listening.
I draw a line in the middle of the boat. He watches one side, or he takes care of one side. I take care of the other side. And if something's got to get done, he would jump on it.
Is that not the bare minimum though?
Go ahead, Peter. I'm listening. What else?
Is that not the bare minimum?
Yeah, solid fucking net man. Can't fuck up a net man.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, but that's.
I like somebody that can work their side of the boat, and you work your side of the boat. That's absolutely.
But the perfect tournament partner is you would both see eye to eye. You would both be like extremely. You'd have the amount of chemistry would be off the charts. There would be no you get this side, I get this side. You be the net man. Blah,
the
blah,
chemistry
blah, blah.
is there if you trust him to get one side and you get the other side. It's there, plain and simple. Thank God. Yes, he's gone. No, just kidding. So there's that. I mean, there's only one person I trust to fish with tournaments right now, and that's my buddy Cody. That's it. Anyone else?
That's true. It's somebody that knows like your style. Like you guys have made that style. Like you fish the same way, so you don't have to worry about his side. You worry about your side. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I had that. Sumo's Me and him fish exactly like that. He takes his, and we always got the same side of the boat. He always had the, facing the transom. He'd have the left, I'd have the right, and we'd run it like that.
The one problem I have with my partner is for some reason he loves to damn bill dance the fucking fish in the boat and not net them.
Well, I'll tell you, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing with y'all, but when I'm on a boat, I don't do a thing where I pick this side of the boat or that. I think it's where if a fish goes on and, say, for instance, it's this person's turn. This person's going to fight the fish. The other person needs to know how to drive the boat, especially like when we're offshore fishing or trying to catch a bougie kingfish or even freshwater fishing. Hey, I'm fighting this fish. You need to watch the boat and it's your turn to net it. Next time you're going to fight the fish. Or if you're over here doing something and this rod goes off and you're not, and then it's not even about turns in a tournament. You're trying to get a fish to the boat.
We don't care.
Yeah. So exactly. You don't say, hey, it's your turn to come get this fish.
Yeah, we don't care. It's just get the fish.
I don't really believe in this side of the boat, that side of the boat. I just believe you got to
I think what he more like was saying is like you take care of the planers or you take whatever you're running, downrigger, bait. This is your side.
Keep in mind, I'm trolling artificial versus live bait. So you got to watch. You got to make sure that side's not twisted up, tangled up versus the other side. Now, I don't generally jump on a damn rod at all. Like he jumps on it or the junior that's with us will jump on it, So I'm basically controlling the boat the whole entire time and probably netting the fish most of the time anyways. But we get doubles and triples and quadruples. The only rod I will touch if it gets hit is a downrigger rod next to me. That's the only one I'll reel in. Other than that, it's covered by him as far as, if we get a bite.
We usually did it by whatever side we're taking care of because we're normally right there anyways. Whoever's over there would take it. But, yeah, I mean, I think a good tournament partner, you're not talking about do this, do that. That's already done.
They know what to do.
Exactly.
Somebody that knows what to do. Well, here's my thing. If I'm on a boat with a man, like when I was in the tournament last year with Scott, he didn't really do nothing different than I did anyway, but it don't matter. If I'm on your boat, Peter, if I'm on Scott's boat, I'm going to fish the way y'all want to fish, and I'm not going to say, Scott, did you hear me one time say we need to do this or we need to go here, we need to go there? Mm-hmm. That's because if I'm on your boat, I got confidence in you, and I'm going to do what you say do. I'm going to fish the way you want to fish. And I think that's a courtesy thing. Like you said, if you don't trust a man, don't get on this fucking boat. If you don't believe him,
I think when you're fishing in a 2-fish tournament too, I mean, you only need 2 boats. You're not there to catch 40 fish.
Yeah.
There to catch 2 quality fish. So, I mean, if it's been 2 hours, a lull, nothing's going on, but you're still seeing good stuff. You feel like they're just not feeding, but you're hoping they start feeding. I mean, and then you got somebody chirping about going somewhere else, putting out another spread. I mean,
well, Peter,
the hardest thing while fishing a tournament is talking to other people because they kind of sort of start putting the itch in your mind as far as maybe we should start to move somewhere versus sticking it out and be patient, So normally I don't even answer my damn phone on a tournament day at all.
Well, I mean, what for?
Peter.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you first, and then I'm going to ask the same question to Scott and Wes. Is there anything that you have thought of trying or that you've always wanted to try? And I'm sure that you've all heard of the old cliche, you don't want to bring an unproven weapon into battle. Okay. Well, with that being said, is there anything that you would want to try that you've thought about trying and, to catch fish, but you're reluctant to do so in a tournament setting? Is there anything new that you would like to try that you haven't tried yet and you definitely don't want to bring it out in a tournament setting?
Anything that I haven't tried that I want to try on a tournament?
Yeah, something that you want to try that you haven't tried yet that you think may work.
My old cliche is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's mainly built off confidence. I'm very.
So you don't have anything. You don't have anything that you'd want to try that you haven't tried.
I don't have anything different that I want to try what I already do because it's all in confidence. I'm confident in what I do. If they ain't biting the shit I got out there, then it's time to either move or wait until they turn on.
Okay. What about you, Scott and Wes?
I'm not gonna try something new in a tournament. I mean, if I'm out fun fishing or pre-fishing, I may try it, but I'm not going to use an unproven tactic in a tournament. No.
Is there anything that you can think of that you'd like to try that you've never tried before?
Maybe I always thought about like downrigger trolling on the lower end of Russell in the summer, but the only problem with that is I would have to kill the fish. But I think the majority of your larger Russell fish are on the lower end in the summertime, and I think you could wax them down there, but everything you caught would die. So it's the reason I've never done it.
When you say downrigger trolling, you're referring to live bait, correct?
I mean, artificial too.
Okay, live and artificial. Okay,
but probably mostly live bait, big live bait, down deep, slow trolling. But I think, I mean, look at the lake. Majority of your fish are going to the lower end. There's pump back, there's airlines, there's tons of bait. Everybody fishes the upper end. And I mean, the reason I fish the upper end is because I can release these fish. I don't have to kill these 20-pounders,
Now, what if you take a kind of like the saltwater guys do? You can actually buy the tool. It's like
they dead time they get to the boat.
You can pop their bladder so they can kind of get back down.
No,
they're dead.
They end up popping their bladder. They're gone.
If you net a 20-pound fish in 88-degree water, when you go to net him, he's dead.
Big old,
I mean, his gills might be moving, but he's dead.
He's dead.
Well, isn't it the same situation in saltwater for a snapper or any other, especially your deep dropping fish?
Snapper is more like pressure.
First of all, saltwater. First of all, I think, and this is just what I've learned: saltwater fish are a whole lot more resilient than freshwater fish.
And striper's a saltwater fish, but if it was in saltwater, I just think the heat kills them. I mean, if the surface temperature 88 degrees in the ocean, does it get that hot? I don't know. In the summertime, Pete, is the surface temperature in the 80s?
It does, but
and if you're
the striper won't be there.
I think you hit it the first time when you said the salt. The salt makes a big difference, I think.
But I mean, it's the temperature more than anything, because there's plenty of oxygen in that water. There's plenty of oxygen in the 80-degree water. They just can't handle the heat. It kills them. Now, a 5-pound striper will swim away if you torpedo it, but does it survive? I don't know. Some say it don't. Some say they do. I would probably think they probably don't. I would think most fish caught in 88, 90-degree water is going to die.
I think smaller fish and about any species is going to have more tolerance for adverse conditions than larger fish of any species.
I mean, I caught a 46-pound striper in Carthage in 50-something degree water and try to keep it alive for 15 minutes beside the boat, and it didn't make it. It died.
You know why catfish are so much tougher and why they can tolerate those higher water temps?
Oh, great. I hear a punchline coming here.
Well, it's because they breathe through their skin.
Cockroaches can survive a nuclear blast.
Yep. Yeah, they can. There's this one big ass cockroach called a palmetto bug, which is the fancy word for cockroach.
We got them here.
Flying roaches. Yep.
But yeah,
why do you think I said it?
I would like to do that. Like if one day I decide to just go out and try to kill some big fish, I think that would be a great way of catching some trophy stripers in our area. But just don't want to kill them. What would you do, JR, for catfish that you've never done? What?
In a tournament. Come on.
In a tournament, I mean, I would have. It would be off the top of my head. I would have to think about it.
So in hindsight here, in a tournament, you want to do what you're confident in. So why would you want to do something that you're unsure of on a tournament day?
It would have to be a bad day. It'd be
Well,
2
I'll tell you.
o'clock and you ain't got a fish.
No, I've noticed something.
10 minutes left.
I just started thinking about this when Gerald asked that question. I have thought about this before, and this may be dumb, and I would probably try it, especially if I wasn't getting no bites. But like you're pulling those A rigs, I would maybe in the center. Is that the rigs that's got one bait in the center?
Yeah, it's on a longer leader.
I would put a herring on it. I would try to put a herring on it. If you're only pulling at a mile an hour, just like you would pull a herring behind a planer board on a single hook, why couldn't you put him on that center hook? You know what I'm saying? If you're just running, if you're controlling a mile an hour, and then
I think if you were trolling under a mile an hour, it's a mile an hour being the fastest.
I think the problem is that you pull them like 1.5 to 2, 1.8. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that if you hooked a herring on it, he would die pretty quick, and he'd probably just start helicoptering back.
Now, is it true though that most cases now, and I don't know nothing about artificial, just what I've heard people talk, that the fish will usually hit the center one, the middle bait, before he does the outside ones?
You know what? It's kind of hard to say. So the actual U rigs, I guess, that have the long center bait, they usually will hit that. But on my A rig, I have found it does not matter at all. They'll hit an arm, they'll hit the center bait, they'll hit the top bait. It kind of doesn't matter usually.
Okay, now what's the difference in a U rig and an A rig?
That's an A rig right there. It's all wire.
Okay.
U rig is vertical.
Hey Peter, do you extend this center?
No.
I've seen some pictures of guys pulling A rigs where they got the wire leader, like a double leader on the back, where you're.
I'll tell you something that I have done on a situation where the fish are down deep and not touching any damn thing at all. I'll actually put 2 A rigs together, 1 and 2. I'll put the second one on the center hook, and I'll have now a whole bunch of baits down deep.
Right.
I've done that. Maybe I can probably count that on one hand.
Wes, on a U rig is a much thicker gauge wire, and you don't bend it. It's already bent. I've heard of guys actually, trying to figure out ways to store U rigs, and I've heard of guys using pizza boxes. With an A rig, you can bend them down, you can squeeze them, you can Velcro them, you can put them in. Yeah, they're much more malleable.
An A rig is a mini umbrella rig.
Okay, and you can run
umbrella rigs like 18 inches to probably 20 inches wide.
It's much thicker gauge wire.
And you can get some small ones too, but yeah.
But I mean, basically, Alabama rig is basically a small umbrella rig.
Now the A rigs, a lot of bass fishermen throw those too, don't they?
Yes.
Well, that's where it started. Yeah.
Yeah. An A rig's not just a small umbrella rig. An A rig is actually much thinner gauge wire. You can bend it, and it's more at an acute, more of an.
And you can change, and you can put like different little heads on them and change the lure.
Yeah. You can. They're snap swivels. You can put whatever. Most guys use jig heads with like Super Fluke Juniors or Yum. Just basic.
It's imitating a ball of bait, basically.
Yeah.
A small ball of bait. And the U-rig, people catch just as many on them. I think they're heavier. They drop further. They're kind of harder to control.
A lot more to lose.
Yeah, I blame the U-rigs for why I can't because any cat fisherman that's not necessarily striper fisherman, any cat fisherman that I've fished with, they cast their bait out, their cut bait. They'll cast it out, and then they'll put their planer board on, and then kick the planer board out. I'm not doing that.
JR, that's what a swivel's for, buddy. I don't understand.
I'm not going to cast my bait out and let it helicopter and take a chance on that hook coming up and hitting the main line and it being fouled and me pulling for 45 goddamn minutes with a fouled rig. No, it happens. I don't care who you are. It happens.
You cast that bait out there, you can feel it in the rod. If it
happens. No, you can't. Not if you're pulling cut bait. You can. If you're pulling a plug or something like that, yeah, maybe, yeah. Especially a plug. A plug's going to have a cadence. You're going to be able to tell if it's fouled or not. Of course. Cut bait, you're not going to be able to tell it's fouled. A cut bait's going to be dragging the bottom. You're not going to be able to tell it's fouled.
There's a lot of very good. Well, I don't even know if they striper fish anymore. Older guy, like back in, 15 years ago, like the big bait guys was kind of a small club. that ran big bait, and a lot of them guys would cast their big bait out 15 feet, hook their board on. They did pretty.
I'm not casting it out. I'm putting it in the water. I'm watching it. I'm making sure it's running true, and I'm pulling it out. I'm taking my time. Quality beats quantity all day long. I'm not one of these guys that say, get in the water. Every second you're out of the water, you have a chance of not catching. I'm not that guy.
Does a piece of cut bait have to run?
Taking my time. That's the way I fish. That's the way I fish. I'm sorry.
So what JR's trying to say,
I haven't
had this happen a lot here too, is when you make that cast, a lot of times that hook will come back around that damn bait, and then when the fish bites,
it happens more than you
miss
think.
them because that hook is buried.
These late cat fishermen are the laziest fishermen. They get somewhere, they want, even the guys that troll and pull boards and whatnot. They're slanging them out there. They're getting them out there as fast as they can. It's like a Chinese fire drill.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question. If so, we're cut baiting. We pull the boat up and we cast out when we're cut baiting and we reel it back up. How do we know that?
When you're not, don't make a cast until you're anchored. If you're going to double anchor, you're still.
Okay, what I'm saying, you're still casting.
You're still
right?
your cat. Yeah, your cat. Okay. Even if it's fouled, the fish is still going to eat the bait. The circle hook's still going to do its job.
So why won't it do it if you cast it while you're pulling the planer board?
Because you're moving.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to make a video for you, Wes. I'm gonna have to make a video for that, and I'm gonna have to make a video for you on circle hooks.
I got a question. How come?
We're gonna get started on that shit again. Please don't even bring up circle hooks.
Oh my God, circle hooks! You have the least amount of faith in circle hooks than anybody I know, but you also have the largest lack of knowledge on how a circle hook actually works.
Because I don't use them. The only reason I use them up there is because the law says I have to.
I know.
Shit, the only time I seen him use a circle hook, he caught his own damn finger.
And that's the worst thing you could do utilizing a circle hook is to fast troll with a circle hook. That's the worst possible hookup ratio you're going to get.
I got a question for you guys.
What you got?
You're professionals. And I know JR is going to argue up and down with me.
Well, don't get him started, please.
He's going to argue like hell, Wes. I'm just warning you.
You need a point to answer.
How come cat fishermen rarely catch trophy stripers cut baiting, and striper fishermen rarely catch trophy catfish cut baiting?
You want me to answer that, or you
might as well.
You want to go, Peter, Wes?
No, I'll go with you. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. my first example is going to be Tennessee. Okay. Let's use Cordell Hull, Cumberland River, for example.
Well, time out first of all.
Okay.
Tennessee. Right. I mean, I'm sure a lot of the cat fishermen in Tennessee.
What trophy fishery is there in North Carolina? Answer me that, and I'll use North Carolina for an example. If you can tell me a fishery in North Carolina that's a trophy striper fishery.
Will anybody argue with me that rarely happens? Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised I don't catch.
You're not going to answer my question. Okay.
No, Gerald. What he's saying is, he's wondering why. But
I'm trying to answer. Okay, I'm trying to answer the question.
We're listening.
He asked me why I use Tennessee and not North Carolina because there's no trophy fishery in North Carolina for stripers.
So that's your reason they don't have trophy stripers.
No, I'm trying to answer your question.
That's a good answer. I got it.
I'm going to start off with most of your trophy striper fishing is in shallow, current-driven fisheries. Mm-hmm. You guys that are yes. You guys that are trophy striper fishing, you're catching them in current most of the time. It's in a river. It's in a river ecosystem. And in that ecosystem, those fish are feeding primarily on trout. Those catfish aren't up in there in that shallow water. They have no.
All right, let me make the question more clear. If you're a reservoir striper fisherman, not necessarily a trophy fisherman, mm-hmm. Like you're just a cut bait fisherman on a reservoir for quality fish.
Right.
How come you rarely catch trophy catfish? And I can still say I don't see a lot of trophy catfishermen except for
because the only time they're in the same spot, basically, primarily, mostly is in the spawn. When I used to fish Lake Norman, before Lake Norman had the big striper kill and they stopped stocking Lake Norman with stripers, I used to fish Lake Norman religiously. I'm talking 4 or 5 days a week for over a decade. When I'm fishing for those stripers, I'm catching flatheads, I'm catching blues, I'm catching catfish like crazy, fishing for striper with cut bait, with white perch. I'm using cut white perch, I'm catching striper, I'm catching flathead, and I'm catching blues. So I'm catching 2 different species of catfish plus stripers.
I will answer
so on the reg. And I imagine.
Thank you, Thomas. Thomas is answering my question. I catch stripers on cut in the fall. Very rarely catch them the rest of the year on cut. And I think that's probably due to the catfish and the stripers are in 2 different water columns most of the year.
Yeah, and it coincides with what I said about the spawn. They're going to be in the same place in the spawn. They're going to be on points. They're going to be in shallow water. They're going to be chasing bait up on points.
The reason I asked the question that you asked me one time, do I not catch trophy catfish? And I don't. Like if I catch, say I'm cut bait fishing with blueback herring for medium-sized striper. Mm-hmm. I rarely catch anything but like little channel cats once in a while, and they're usually way shallow.
Well, I would say the big for me, when I'm striper fishing, cut baiting, most of the time I'm using trout, and I have caught a catfish or 2 on trout. Actually, on Loudon, I caught a pretty good sized blue year before last. But at the end of the day, when striper fishermen, when we're cut baiting, we're usually either trout or gizzard, blueback herring. And when all the guys are catfishing, they're using fucking chicken and chicken livers and WD-40 on it.
In the summertime, they do carry a lot more scent. A catfish can sense more than a striper. A catfish they have sensories on their nose. They have it on their barbels. They're much more evolved than a striper. They've been around for millions and upon millions of years longer than striper have been around. And every striper that you guys catch are stocked by the government. You guys are fishing for government stocked fish. They're extremely simple. You know what they're doing.
It was an honest question because I rarely see
what they're doing.
Catfishermen with trophy stripers, and I rarely see.
You know why? Because you guys are fishing select areas certain times of the year because you know exactly what those stripers are doing. You don't know what these catfish are doing.
Quit getting defensive. I asked a damn question and get that hat off. You don't catch the fever.
The thing is you don't know what they're doing. These catfish, they could be doing something different year to year. The striper doing something. They're doing the exact same thing every year. You know where to go. You know exactly what they're doing every year.
JR, let me ask you a question now. And anybody that's still watching, honestly, at the end of the day, and you're going to say different, but I'll argue with you until my damn lips fall off.
Well, the difference is, can you prove it? Can I prove it with evidence? And
evidence. Then you ought to be able to prove this. A catfish is the easiest fucking fish to catch in the water.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
That's the easiest fish to catch in the water, and that's why everybody likes to fish for them.
Absolutely.
Keep up, Scott. Keep up.
Absolutely.
Hey, I off topic. I met
catfish
Thomas.
Are not.
But now, wait, let me say this. Hold on, Scott. I will say this. JR is right. And I always thought striper had a good smell. But in freshwater, a catfish has the best nose in freshwater out of all.
Yeah, their whiskers pick up. Yeah, they're scavengers.
They can smell bait 100 miles away where a striper.
They're the buzzards of the water. I mean, of course they can smell.
That's not true. They're not carp. Their mouths are not sturgeon. Their mouths aren't on the bottom.
Their job is to eat the dead animals.
If they were designed to eat on the bottom, why would they have an underbite?
They're the buzzards of the water.
That is
Scott, you catch a lot of catfish trolling live bait for striper.
Do I? No, nothing. Hardly any. I mean, every once in a while you catch them.
So often one will sneak up on you, right?
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, Scott. Now, Chris Brown, we were up in Tennessee 2 years ago, and he caught a 58-pound flathead on a piece of cut trout.
Well, I mean, Tennessee it's weird. Like, I mean, a lot of the catfishermen up there catch good striper.
Hey, but what was really weird, Scott, that water temperature was 54 degrees that afternoon or that night. It was, so you know where we were.
Yeah.
It was cold as shit, and it surprised me that a catfish was even up there in that cold of water. But
But yeah, I mean, I'm shocked. Like people ask me all the time like, how big a catfish I catch. I've probably posted the 2 decent sized catfish I've caught, and I think a lot of it is if you're a striper fisherman and you're cut baiting and you're catching catfish, you're in the wrong water column. You're in the wrong depth.
Listen. Stripers aren't native to our waterways, okay? That's why it's easier to catch catfish is because they can actually reproduce, unlike a striper. You have to rely on the government to stock them. And if you go to the places that the government does stock them, like a lot, like let's look at the
I think you think I was taking a shot at catfish.
Look at Lake Murray. They're easy.
Asking an honest question.
When we went to the James River, we started throwing the cast net. What did we catch in the cast net? We didn't catch catfish in the cast net. We caught stripers in the cast net because they done.
Yeah, they were on that bait on the lake. The catfish are laying on the bottom eating chicken.
There's a light.
The catfish are sitting on the bottom waiting for the fucking
There's
scraps.
plankton there under that light. And there's fish feeding on that plankton. I'm going to go eat them fish. You didn't catch no catfish on there because those catfish are smart enough to stay on the outer fringes of the light. They're going to get those strays.
Losing viewers.
But you're talking about a fish that can live in a fucking piss hole of muddy ass water.
Just because they can tolerate lesser water quality doesn't mean
they don't. Listen, buddy, I love you like a brother, but a goddamn catfish has got no fight in it.
Catfish is a fucking roach of the damn
water. You about full of shit. You ain't caught a catfish out for over 25 years, Wes.
Okay.
So I met Thomas Walker pre-fishing the other day. Cool dude. Nice boat. Really nice boat.
Stormcat.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to Thomas.
Warships.
Will a artificial troller finish top 10 Saturday? Yes or no?
Yes.
Artificial troller finish top 10. I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say artificial troller are probably going to be the majority of your like 20 to 30s finishing. I think they're going to catch a lot of fish. Think about it this way, Scott. You got 100. How many boats do you have in the SBC this year?
103, right?
102, 103, something like that.
Okay, 100 boats. 100 boats fishing it. How many of those 100 boats do you think are actually using artificial?
25.
That's the number.
25. Yeah. So 25% are pulling artificials. And you think that artificial is going to finish in the top 10?
Yep, for the exact reason you talked about earlier.
Oh my God.
The live
orgasms.
Why are you pulling live bait? If you
listen, I'm explaining to you. The artificial pullers are going to catch fish. They're going to catch fish. A lot of the live bait guys are going to go big or go home, just like you said you would do, and they're going to get skunked. And the other live bait fishermen that are pulling herring are probably going to catch about the same amount of pounds of weight as the artificial guys. And artificial's on fire right now. I mean, it's that time of year.
It is.
I got you.
I've been known to snake bite a thing on a trip, occasionally catch a 10, 11, 12 pounder. So
Scott, let me ask you this.
While we're talking about artificials, Scott, and I know Daniel and them used to do this at Clark's Hill. The Ben Parker spoon. You know what a Ben Parker spoon is, don't you, Pete?
No.
They call it power reeling, or they'll just drop down, and the faster you reel, the better the bite is, the better the reaction is. Scott, now y'all used to kill them down there on them Ben Parker spoons, didn't you? In the summertime.
Yeah, but that's usually late summer. Because towards the summer, your schools of striper get bigger, and then later and later in the summer, the bigger the schools get. When you get them real big schools of fish, they're competing against each other, and that's when the Ben Parker spoons really show out. This time of year, with as big a profile as it is, and as deep as you got to reel it, it's not going to do nothing.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, right? Because in the summertime, I refuse to fucking fish because of the damn boat traffic and dead fish. Okay. In the summertime, them striper, they don't move a lot. They sit in one area. Is that correct?
Yeah,
so that's why that method is a hell of a lot better. Because in wintertime, they're fucking there and they're fucking gone.
Yeah, in the late, especially the late summer, that water quality gets so bad that the good water quality is I mean, it really pushes all your fish to the lower end into that thermocline, and you'll have huge schools of fish. Now, that means you're going to have a lot of dead water too. Like you're going to have to find that school, but when you find that school of fish, it's going to be a huge school of fish, and you're probably going to limit out pretty quick. They've done good on Parker spoons this year, which is kind of the first year. They got real good, and then it kind of slacked off after the fish kill. And now this year, I think people done pretty good on them. It's a straight reaction bite. I mean, you reel it as hard as you can. It's just fluttering right up through the school, and you just pick fish off.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it kind of puts you in mind of like butterfly jigging offshore.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Same thing. I think a butterfly jig would work great doing the same thing. Or what do they call that? Slow. What's that new thing? The new saltwater thing.
Slow pitch, I think. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all that would work. I know guys that go out there with just big lead heads and swim baits, big paddle tails, and do the same exact thing and just rip it up.
Peter, you're predominantly striper, sniper, soft plastic.
Yes, all of it. Correct.
So yeah, whether you're pulling a single, a tandem, Alabama rig, doesn't matter. It's all striper, sniper.
Good to see you, Thomas. I hope you wear them out.
Like I said, the one thing that I need to figure out in my 2 days of fishing, 2 days of pre-fishing, is bucktail or shad.
There's got to be something, Peter. There's got to be a soft plastic that
I'm telling you, each lake is different. High Rock Lake, bucktails. Baden Lake, bucktails. Lake Norman, shad.
So
Lake
basically,
Watery,
what you're saying is that like it doesn't matter what soft plastic paddle tail that you're using. They're all the same. Do you think the striper snipers are better than any other?
I do, yeah, because the plastic's a lot lighter, meaning it's got better action in the water. Now,
have you ever used a Kitech?
I have, yes.
You think that the striper sniper has better?
I'm not buying 5 for a pack for the same thing. I can get 25 pack.
Okay, now I'm not asking that. Now price is no option here. I'm asking you.
Is always an option, brother.
Always, that's right.
No, listen, we're fishing for ego. Okay, we're not fishing for money. None of you striper fishermen or us cat fishermen are professional fishermen. The only reason we're getting in these tournaments is for ego.
No, JR, back up. I don't know about everybody else. I don't give a fuck about no ego. If I'm in that tournament, I want that $20,000.
Yeah, but you're not doing it for a living. You can't do it for a living. It's impossible. There's not enough tournaments, first of all.
I'll do eating air conditioning.
Exactly. You can't fish for a living. Professional bass fishermen can fish for a living because they're paying out 50 spots.
You don't have to, if you're a good fisherman, you don't have to win a tournament to boost your ego. I'll boost mine every time I go fishing.
Time out.
Every time you have sex.
We had a good discussion going here about the baits he was pulling, then you went off on ego shit. Now, Peter, the majority of the fish I've seen are feeding on thread fins right now. So if that helps your decision. A lot of coughing up a lot of thread fins.
Small or big?
Small.
I mean, decent 3-inch.
Gotcha.
I would guess Peter's probably using the striper sniper soft plastics Peter's using. I'm guessing was 4-inch. Are they 4-inch, Peter?
They are 3.5, and I can shorten them if I want to.
3.5. So, okay, what kind of jig heads are you using? What size jig heads?
Man, you were getting down the detail now. How many viewers?
Yes, I want to know. Yeah, the people.
No. Are we down to 2? I'll tell you.
Are we talking 3?
I got to keep up with Scott right now.
1/4-inch jig heads, 1/8 ounce jig heads, 3/8 ounce,
I got to keep up with Scott real quick. Hold on.
I think this might mean we're about to get a lie.
Your bottle is getting a little smaller, Scott.
I noticed that.
What size? Hey, I bet you $1 to a donut. Scott doesn't even know what size jig heads is on his A rigs behind him.
1/4 ounce.
You're lying.
Nope.
You're guessing.
You are actually going to shake your head and be like, "How?"
Are you guessing, Scott? Are they really?
Darren, you think I tell you everything I know?
Oh my God. Okay, Peter, what size are your jig heads on your A rigs?
1/4 ounce.
You going to call me a liar if I tell you?
What are they?
8.
1/16.
Yeah, I figured.
Oh my God. So you're using 1/16 ounce jig. pretty long shank. Now, are your jig heads, are they commercial jig heads, or are you buying
That's
those
smart.
custom?
Because he's fishing for fish that are feeding on small bait.
I
Small
make them myself.
You make them yourself.
Damn right.
I'm gonna call bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. Where's your molds? Let's see your molds. Okay, so I done found out Peter's secret. Peter's secret is to go small. His secret is quantity. His secret is quantity.
This is the only fucking time I show you.
That's an 8.
You better look right now. You better fucking look right now.
Yeah, that's a
long shank.
That's it.
What do you call a gotcha jig?
This a homemade jig with a 2-aught hook.
It looks a lot like a gotcha.
It is not. Here you go.
Yeah.
What do you use to pop that paint out of the eye?
Another hook.
Another hook.
Here, let me fucking show you. Here you go.
Another hook.
Done.
There you go.
Now, do you use that one that you used to poke? That you use that hook?
Absolutely.
Yep,
Put it in the
absolutely.
trailer.
You don't feel like it dulled it at all?
Nah.
I bet you don't put that one on the center.
Wherever it lands. That's
Y'all
where it
can
goes.
see what I'm seeing right now.
Well, I'll tell y'all what. When I first met Peter, when he was showing me how to rig ballyhoo, I remember he was telling me.
Hey, Heather.
I remember my first Corona.
Oh gosh, stop! I'm sober as a Jew in a tree.
I saw Scott pounding a shot. Hold on, it's my turn.
Yeah, she gave me one.
I've drank more than y'all. Look,
Bullshit.
Dude, that don't count.
That's a pussy liquor.
well, I've drank 6 of these.
Like JC said earlier, do they sell those to men?
Shush. All right.
So Wes, you were saying
anyway. When I remember when I first met Pete, and he said something that made sense to me. When you're fishing, and I cut bait fish mostly. I've only caught one fish over 40 pounds pulling planer boards. Every fish I've ever caught has been cut bait fishing until I started fishing saltwater.
Now you're talking freshwater, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say because we just caught multiple over 40.
Oh God!
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But what I'm saying is, I remember Pete telling me, in any freshwater saltwater, 90% of your fishing is bait and presentation. That's what's going to catch fish. So I remember when he was showing me how to rig these ballyhoo, I paid real close attention to everything he did. I mean, every little detail. And I'm not saying this bragging, but I do think that's one reason that I was so, I guess you'd say, productive this year in catching fish, is because I paid attention and I knew Pete knew how to fish because I'd watched him on Facebook. He caught a lot of fish, blah, blah, blah. But he showed me how to rig those baits and how to rig them properly. And I am a person. If somebody that I know knows more than me and I want to do something, I want to learn it, I pay very close attention to everything they do. And I did that and I caught fish. So I do believe it is all about bait and presentation and how you present that bait. Because, Scott, am I wrong? You can be pulling a bait half a mile an hour. Or if you're pulling bait a mile an hour, you're trolling and you say, well, this ain't doing, maybe change the presentation, slow it down and go to half a mile an hour.
I don't know what that's doing. All it's doing is dropping off.
Or you speed up and go to a mile and a half. Just presenting the bait different. It's all about bait and presentation.
Well, when I pull live bait, like with planer boards, I don't go in a straight line. I try to zigzag because your inside boards are going to drop. I mean, I think it's the same with artificial. Your inside boards are going to slow down.
I do a lot of turns, but with artificial, I do a little more abrupt turns. And if I get on bites on one side or the other, that tells me that I need to speed up or slow down.
Well, yeah, because you don't have to worry about drowning the bait.
Or it could be depth too, because your insides are going to be deeper, right?
That too,
yeah. Your insides are going to be higher. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's
a lot of people think, in all seriousness, a lot of people think artificial, you throw that shit in the back of the boat and you fucking go. I mean, I'm telling you right now, there is a lot of finesse involved with trolling artificial. And I do this. I will be trolling 10 fucking rods on Saturday because I got to.
There's more finesse in trolling artificial than there is live bait.
Yeah,
it's like I was talking about earlier. You're not just slinging it out there and clipping a planer board on it. You're letting it out. You're making sure it's running true, stuff like that. Correct.
Scott Morgan told me this when I first started first person I ever really striper fish with was Scott Morgan, and we were on Clark's Hill, and I think I told Scott this story. But anyway, I remember when we were trolling, when he made a left turn, if the inside board went off, which meant that bait dropped a little bit deeper, he would put snap on split shots on to make all the bait run a little bit deeper. If an outside board went off when we were turning, that bait was running higher, he'd take those split shots back off and put everything so it would run higher. I mean, so it's kind of he paid attention to every little detail. And I think we caught like 60 fish that day. It was just unbelievable.
I always watch my depth finder when I'm trolling. Always. I mean, my eyes go from the rods to depth finder, the rods, the depth finder, back and forth. And I'll look for the schools of fish. And one thing that I can do is mark my downrigger ball oftentimes. And so when I mark the schools of fish at, let's just say they're at 30 foot, I'll make sure my downrigger ball is at 25. And that will troll through the school every time.
Now, how often do you get hung up, Peter? Let's say in an 8-hour tournament setting, do you ever get hung up in an 8-hour tournament?
It really depends.
He will Saturday.
Everyone's warned me about Hartwell, so I got all sorts of rigs all fucking tied up and everything now.
Hey, go down to Russell and let us know how that works for you.
God damn, son. On the lead core rods that I troll with the tandem rigs and everything else, I don't target anything deeper than 20 at all. The downrigger is where I dig down deeper if I need to. And so that's going to break off a lot. I'm going to tell you this, though. A lot of the hooks I use, they actually, with a little bit of force, they'll straighten out. So even though I get hung up, oftentimes, I can't say always, but let's say 3 out of 4, I'll get back.
God, you gonna lose that 18-pounder.
You're probably right, but
So
no, I fight the fish very light, by the way. So
you use 1/8 of an ounce on everything, Peter, or are you putting some larger jig heads on your singles or your tandems?
I'll tell you Sunday.
To me, I agree with all this presentation, 100%, but location's the number one thing. I think you could use any swim bait or paddle tail or twisty tail that you wanted. If you're in the right spot, they're going to eat it.
That's right.
Well, when you're talking about presentation, it's them finicky fish.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's how you got finicky fish.
Let's face it, pre-fishing is everything oftentimes. Like, I'll give you an example of on Thursday when we're out there, I probably won't wet a hook on Thursday. I probably won't.
I'm gonna go grab in my striper stuff right quick. I'm gonna go run in my striper stuff, and I'm gonna grab a spool of lead core out of it, and I'm gonna show it to the camera. And I want you to tell me, Peter, if it's the size lead core that you're using.
I use 28 and 36. 28 and 36 pounds.
I'll be right. I don't even know what I have.
It's been a great show, guys. Let's go. No.
I bet it's dry rotted, whatever it is.
Damn right. Hey, I guarantee you. It's that damn fucking brand that no longer exists. What's it called? Fucking Tricolor or something? I don't know.
Hey, now I could be wrong. I'm not sure about hybrid because I never really hybrid fished a lot.
It's the same thing, really.
But I noticed, and I was told this too, when I started striper fishing, if I mark fish on my depth finder, I always want to make sure my bait is above those fish I'm marking. If I'm marking them in 20 feet, pull my bait 15 to 18 foot. Reason being, and I don't understand. I understand it, but I don't. A striped bass will hit up. They always attack up. They don't attack down. But don't they have to go down when they're cut baiting? They'll go down to pick a piece of cut bait up off the bottom. But when you're pulling live bait, and I've never noticed this. I've actually watched fish on my depth finder before, almost in real time, where they come up and hit the bait. You can see it, but the attack is always up.
Okay. It ain't dry rotted.
Now, does hybrid do that, Scott?
Huh?
Does hybrid do that? Will a hybrid hit down on a bait, or did they? Are they?
Hybrids seem to be a lot more aggressive and a lot more mean. They're all up and down the water.
Yeah, most of your guides are going to fish towards the bottom if they got a clear bottom. It seems like a lot of the guides will drop all the way to the bottom and crank like 3 cranks off the bottom. I don't know. I guess it depends where your bait is more than where your fish are. If you got low bait, you're going to want to get deeper. If you got bait suspended high near the surface, they're probably feeding towards the surface. I mean, it's kind of a summertime thing, though. Like wintertime, I don't mark a lot of fish.
I don't either. Not in the winter.
In the wintertime, I'll generally mark wolf packs of like 5-8 fish.
Yeah, yeah. You're mostly looking for life. I know I said it before. That, like, if you guys make a spoof, you can say, "I'm looking for life. I'm looking for life," because that's what you're looking for.
You want to see Fred. You want to see that blue heron. You want to see.
I don't care.
Birds,
I mean, yes, I would love to come across a wolf pack of massive arches, but I know if there's bait in a creek, there's fish somewhere in that creek. Is it the fish I need? I don't know, but
there's two things I'll look for: life and water temperature. There's a certain water temperature I love to find trolling artificial, and if I find it and I find life, I'm sticking there.
Hey, now let's stop a minute. Let's talk about water temperature.
It's extremely heavy.
Okay, when we were in Chesapeake Bay, I remember I called on the radio and I asked Clint what water temperature he was marking because he was about 2 miles south of me. And he said, Wes, I'm marking about, I think he said 40, 41 or 42. And I said, damn, it's still almost 50 degrees up here, like 46 or 47 degrees. And he said, but I'm marking down about 8 foot deeper than you are because my transducer is deeper in the water.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're talking about water temperature, say for instance, you want to see a water surface temp, say you're looking for, just hypothetically speaking, 50 degrees water. So you're looking for temperature 50 degrees on surface temp. Okay. How do you know what it is 8 or 10 foot below you?
It'll be the same. So all right, your Chesapeake Bay, you got 7 knots of current, man. That's everything there. I mean, that's gonna disperse a lot of stuff.
Well, you know what we were actually marking? I marked it for 3 days.
I don't think it'll be the same, Peter.
Up there, and I've never been able to do that before in current. But I actually marked the thermocline the day me and JR.
It's not going to be a huge difference, on a lake.
So what you're saying is this going to be more uniform the colder the water gets?
It's going to be
in the summer. In the summertime, you go out there and when the water temp, let's say the water temp's 80 degrees, you jump in and you can feel.
You're right.
Once it gets down around your waist to your knees, your legs, your feet,
not wintertime.
It's noticeably colder.
All right.
So
there's
not that big of a discrepancy in the winter.
You gonna let me talk? You want me to talk?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to finish.
So I got something on my boat that you guys don't. It's called a downrigger. When I bring my downrigger,
I have a downrigger.
Have you ever thought about? And again, it's small little thing. It's little bits of finesse here. Put your fucking hand on that downrigger ball when you bring it up, and that'll tell you if the water's hotter or colder down there.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, but how much?
I'm running my downrigger 30 feet, man. I mean,
yeah, you'll know right away. Like one of the main reasons.
What Wes is talking about is like 10 feet. Like, is there a difference between 1 foot where our boats are drafting like 1 foot, our transducer, versus a 35 foot?
Summertime, yes, you have a lot more heat generated by the sun beating down 90 degrees on the surface of the water. In the wintertime, I think it's more uniform, the water temperature.
In the wintertime, I really don't give a shit as far as what's down deeper. I want that colder water up high.
So say you're pulling in your boat, you're showing 50 degrees. How cold do you think it is in 30 foot of water?
First of all, normally I'm not going to be fishing deeper than 25, 30 foot.
Okay,
if it's 50 on top, I'm going to say 52, 53.
What's the variance is what I'm trying to say roughly.
52, 53 roughly.
I think in the wintertime, it's a lot more closer than summertime. There's not a lot that affects it in the wintertime because you got super cold nights, which are dropping down in the 30s, which are cooling the surface temperature off. Then you got the sun coming up. It'll warm up about 3 degrees during the day. There's
still stratification in the winter.
Yeah, there is.
And what you're talking about in the summer is like when you jump in when the water's 80 degrees and you can feel how the water gets colder down like toward your feet.
Right.
That's stratification is what you're experiencing there. And in the wintertime, you also have stratification. And that's why those fish are.
Look at this comment I just put up. How you like that, Pete?
Yeah, I think Mercer's got that too.
Oh wow. Yeah. Mercer is I think Mercer's he's gonna take over. He's gonna overtake Peter. It's coming.
Bring it.
Peter's the master artificial guy. Well, Mercer's coming along. He's gonna overtake Peter.
Mercer is starting to ask meticulous questions, so he's on to me now.
I mean, if the guy's got a thermostat mounted on his downrigger ball, I mean, come on. You're getting pretty doggone
I
comprehensive.
mean, the best artificial guy can't hold my nuts. That's all I'm saying.
Damn.
But if you start out on artificial and then you go to live bait, how dangerous is an artificial guy going to be?
Terrible.
If he starts out on artificial, and then
you need to start on live bait and stick with it, because it's night and day. It's totally different.
But it's not when it comes to the crappie industry. When it
now,
comes
if
to the
I was
crappie
Peter
world,
and I was fishing the lakes he fished, I would do exactly what he does.
Let me ask you this: you think a live bait fisherman would outperform a bass fisherman if a bass fisherman were to use bass minnows or shiners, aka shiners?
Well, let me tell you a story.
Is he going to do better than a guy that's using baits?
No. I think herring would outfish a bass. I can prove it. I can prove it, JR.
How are you going to prove it?
Well,
you're not going to prove it by talking about how you caught bass as a bycatch. Well,
because we were on Clark's Hill and there was a pretty major bass tournament going on, and the bass guys jumped in. Like, I'm pulling this point coming up. They see me coming up. Well, they jump up in front of me, right? Mm-hmm. So since they jumped in front of me, I don't change course. I'm staying where I'm staying. So I'm hitting this point. Well, they're just working. It's like I knew they were only going to be there 3 minutes anyways. I think the best bass fishermen work a point for more than 3 minutes. But anyways, they work it, go around. They cut inside, go around the outside. Well, we come across the same exact point. They were killing it. I mean, they were just hammering it. And the outside planer board goes off with the 8.5 pounder. I pull it up, show it to them. I said, would this be good in the tournament? And I flipped that son of a bitch in the air. Yes, live bait's going to outfish artificials 100% of the time.
For larger fish or quantity?
Any fish.
Any
fish.
I mean, that's what
you guys are obviously not artificial. Because that is not true at all.
Listen, you can honestly say, if you're JR, you can honestly say, and Pete, I'm gonna ask you this seriously. If y'all's life, if your fucking kids and your mammy's life
artificial all day. If my life depends on it, if I need to feed my family, artificial.
That ain't what I'm talking about. Back up. You're telling me you'd bet your mama's life if you was fishing against a man with you had artificial and he had a live bait, you'd bet your mama's life you're gonna catch more fish.
What species?
If my life depends on it,
crappie.
Any species.
Oh yeah, crappie. 100%. 100 times out of 100, I'm using artificial. Nobody in this world, nobody on this planet is going to outfish me with live bait when it comes to crappie.
All right, time out, JR. Time out. I got calm down. Everybody, bring it down.
I'm calm.
So when you're pulling an umbrella rig, or say you're throwing a shad wrap at the bank, right?
Right.
You with me?
Yeah.
You're imitating a bait fish, and you want to get something that imitates the bait fish as closely as you can.
Whitney Houston sung that song better than
you're not listening to me. You're not listening to me.
Okay.
So we're pulling the native bait species of that lake. There's nothing that's going to represent the bait fish more than the actual bait fish. Now, will it outfish it?
I disagree.
In certain conditions, no, it won't. Will it catch more? Not always, because you're covering more water, like Peter said. And you're getting that reaction bite. A lot of times we're pulling slow, and then fish are coming up to our bait. They're not hungry. They're looking at it. They're turning off. If there's an umbrella rig, they're going to smack it because
there are so many
questions for you. This is a valid good question right here. Okay, I've noticed this with artificial. You might notice this with live bait. Do you notice that sometimes the striper will bite when you troll a certain direction, meaning in the creek, out the creek?
Yes.
I notice that artificial, hands down, so many times. Yes. That's why I'll make 4 passes on one bank sometimes if I know the fish are there.
And it's usually coming out of the creek for me.
Well, if live bait, if artificials are so good, JR, let's talk about bass fishing. Why aren't you allowed to use a live bait in a bass fishing tournament?
Because even though an artificial will outproduce a live bait, you have to know how to use an artificial to catch fish. You don't know how to use a live bait to catch fish on a live bait. So
That's not
if you
answering
take
my
an
question.
yes, it is. If you take an
Okay.
experienced angler that knows how to fish an artificial, he's going to outproduce the guy that fishing with live bait. But the thing is anyone can fish a live bait. Not anyone can fish an artificial. That answers your question.
Okay.
To answer your question, Wes, if my life absolutely depended on it to, let's say, feed someone or catch a fish or else, it would be live bait. Yes.
Well, it's
All
two.
this is
Hold on,
contingent.
JR. It's two different things.
It's
Because
too many
live bait
contingencies.
is the fish are hungry and they want to eat. Now, when artificial, the reason it outperforms live bait sometimes is because
That's
it's
not
reaction.
true. That's not true.
There's a
Scott.
reaction, but
You're
not all
assuming-
the time.
You're
Not all
assuming
the time.
that every fish you catch on artificial
No,
is a
that's what I'm
reaction
saying.
strike, and that's not true. When it comes to crappie fishing, they're biting on a hunger strike. They're not biting on a reaction strike.
So your grub looks more realistic than a minnow.
Goddamn right it does. Goddamn right, Peter.
Damn, that's
do
a
you
big
agree?
grub.
I actually
God,
do not agree. No, because you damn
Damn.
bounce that jig in the brush pile, that damn crab, he's gonna look up and get pissed off. Motherfucker, get my damn pile and eat it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not downplaying artificial. They do have their role.
Where's Daniel Skipper? Where is somebody that fishes crappie
JR,
like
you're
I
arguing
do?
something
Yeah.
that nobody would
Where's
agree
somebody?
with you
Let's
with.
have a crappie tournament for $1,000
JR.
a piece.
I'll beat your ass again.
No, you won't.
Hey,
No, you
hey,
won't.
Well, I'll take
Pete,
your money in Norman and anywhere else.
No,
for
you
crappie.
definitely won't
When-
take it
hey,
on
when
Norman. Let's go to
crappie-
Norman.
when
Let's
crappie-
go to Norman this
Let's
weekend.
do it, baby.
I got the Southeastern on
Game
lock,
on,
or
baby.
mystery
Game
tournament
on.
on Southeastern Saturday morning. After that, I'm free, baby. Sunday, me and you, Peter, Lake Norman, crappie fishing,
Done.
head to head,
Done. I'm game.
head to head.
I'm game, baby.
So are you using artificial or live bait?
I'm
Peter?
using artificial.
I will probably use half and half. And you know what? On Lake Norman, I'll tell you flat out, I'll only
Hey,
bring
listen.
2 fucking rods. in my boat.
y'all motherfuckers see this?
One. I'm bringing one rod, motherfucker.
Hey,
One rod.
put your goddamn money on your jig and give me some fucking minnows, JR. You ain't never caught crappie like that in 3 hours. I run out of minnows.
No, how much
Fuck
you
a
want to
jig.
bet? How much you want
Fuck
to
a
bet?
jig.
Hey, you got a damn
Fuck
new
a
Chevrolet
jig.
truck. Drive your piece of shit
Fuck
truck
a
down to
jig.
Lake Norman and get in the head-to-head with us.
Fuck,
then.
hey, JR, look
Hey,
here.
come on
There's some
down.
more. Fuck a
Hey,
jig.
Come
y'all,
on down.
Fuck
and
a
y'all
jig.
notice how like we had the most brutalest
Fuck a
cold snap
jig.
in a long fucking
Come on
time.
down, Wes. Come on down.
We had a
Lake
massive
Norman,
cold snap.
Sunday
Shut up.
morning.
No,
Fuck
okay.
Lake
a jig.
Norman, Sunday morning. Come
Shut
on
up,
down.
JR. Shut up
Yeah.
for a second.
We had this dang massive cold snap, and now all of a sudden, every HVAC guy I know is either on a fucking lavish vacation or they bought a brand new fucking truck. Or, like, tell me about it. Come on now.
Hey, $60,000 truck. Don't forget that.
I got the same truck as you, by
Pretty
the way. Same
boy.
exact truck.
You got your
That
RST?
ain't no man's truck.
I do, yes.
That's a pretty boy.
You like
truck.
it?
I do. I
See,
do.
my truck was special ordered, and the guy didn't come get it. And I think he lost a $5,000 deposit on that truck. So I got mine with a 6.2.
Uh-huh.
That son of a bitch will pull up. Listen, it's a different entity than that Dodge is.
That 6.2 is a LS motor, ain't it? Push rod.
So my truck actually, it came in the shop, the dealership, and I went for a test drive and I liked it. And while I was doing paperwork, there were 3 motherfuckers lined up hoping I get denied.
That's a
I
nice.
told them, turn around, ain't no way this bad boy's getting denied.
I spent a lot of money on that truck. but
Mine's
I'm
a
very
05 Cat Eye
Hey.
Beast.
Hey, Pete, I like it when you
It
put it in
doesn't
sport
count.
mode.
It's not a real Chevrolet. It's a diesel.
When you put it into sport mode, it's a beast, dude.
Let me
Oh
show
my
off some crappy
God.
photos here real quick. Cut on fucking jigs.
Oh my God! Here we go. What kind of jigs are you using, Peter?
I can't
Sunday
fucking
morning?
tell you that because we got a damn
JR.
serious tournament happening on
I
Sunday.
know what you're using.
grass.
You're using flick tails. I know
JR,
what
you
you're
might be the only person I've ever met that said artificial will outfish live bait. That's really never even an argument.
Oh, it's a fact. That's a fact. Put your money where your mouth is, boy. Come
I
on
mean,
down to Lake
crappie,
Norman
I
Sunday morning.
understand because you hook them.
I'm willing. I'll go paycheck to paycheck. Let's go.
Look at this. Look at
Let's
this.
go.
This was on a fucking tournament on
I
jibs.
don't care. You know how many times I've done that? You know how many Wes, Peter,
What?
y'all know how many times I've done that. You know how many pictures I've got of
I
that?
don't because I don't see
I've
no
done
fucking
that. It's
pictures.
Let's see 'em.
infinite.
I don't.
I've done it so many times. I quit taking pictures.
Let's see them.
Well,
It's
there's
so
the viewers.
easy. It's so easy.
a
I'm a
lie.
cat fisherman. I use them for bait.
It ain't
I catch
shit.
that many. I catch that many for bait when I go cat
Yeah.
You
fishing.
caught that on a
That is
jig too, didn't
nothing.
you?
That
Did
is
Oh
you catch
yeah,
that?
with the dang, with
You
the
caught
dang
that
little
on a jig
fucking
too,
number
didn't you?
6 hook, baby.
You caught that
Hey,
on a jig
Peter,
too,
what's
didn't you?
your
I came on an eel.
how are you cutting the lake down for your pre-fishing?
I'm sticking to one river only, and that's going to be that Seneca River system.
It's only 80 miles long.
Yeah, well, you know, whatever. There is one little area,
Very
I don't even
smart.
know the fucking name of it, that looks very interesting on my map that I'll probably check out, which is
Connor Ross Creek.
no, it's not. It's between the two. There's a little cutoff there. I kind of like the looks of it. So I'll probably check that out on Friday, but otherwise, it's going to be in that river system the whole entire time.
You're just gonna stick in that one river system?
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere else. It's just too big, you know. It's for 2 days.
Yeah,
No
it is.
time. No time.
It is.
Yeah, Wes puts the one comment up of the guy that actually makes a living selling live bait.
Oh, that's my boy Kevin. I seen him
Yeah.
the other day too. Hell yeah.
Now I've heard reports on both rivers catching fish, but you know it's a crapshoot, man. It's just I feel like you can, you know, as a troller, I can
No.
slip up on a pair of 10-pounders. So that's all I can hope for. Slip up on a pair of 10-pounders, and
Well,
Okay.
I'll tell you that Seneca is full of fish. I mean, it is. The Tougaloo has some fish. Seneca's full of fish. Lower end has fish. I mean, it's, you know how it is this time of year. They are really spread up.
the house that I'm staying at is actually on the Conross there.
Yeah.
I've heard the horror stories about
So I've
everyone
always
being
heard. I
in there.
thought it was called cone raw.
Whatever the fuck it is, I have
What
no
is
idea.
it? What is
but
it called?
It's-
What's
Connor Ross.
Is the
In
what's the
fishing
South
proper
Carolina-
pronunciation?
is the
In
fishing
South
good
Carolina,
above
they
it?
call it Coney Ross, but it's actually
Ross.
Cone Ross.
Cone Ross. Okay.
Connor Ross.
Not cone.
Yeah, see,
Cone,
Coney.
cone Ross.
Cone Ross.
Cone,
So
cone
is the
Ross.
fishing any better above it?
like a
Hot River
coffee.
some more.
What's
Is the
that?
fishing any better above it?
Any better? I think
No,
Cone
Peter's
Ross.
struggling. Peter, don't listen to anything he says. Go where your gut
We
tells
only
you
got
to
3
go.
viewers now.
Yeah,
so
Cone Ross is full of fish. I mean, it's always full of fish.
I
I
don't like
promise.
fishing in crowds, so I try to stay
But
away from everyone.
so yeah, above it, yes, there's fish above it. There's fish probably as far as you can go above it.
You realize
And
what
there-
he's saying is equivalent to me saying on Lake Norman, if you were asking about the HSBC, I would be saying the exact same thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's fish.
That's fine.
Yeah, Mountain Creek. Yeah, but
No,
there's
I
fish
mean,
above it.
I do
Yeah,
my
150.
own
Oh,
things.
yeah,
I
there's
don't
fish
do
above
fish.
150.
So,
Hey,
Really,
hold on.
this time of year, there's fish really everywhere. Now, the groups of fish are going to be in different places, but there really is fish from the top of the lake to the bottom right now. I promise you.
If you think Scott's telling you a story, try to get in Connor Ross Creek about 7 o'clock Saturday morning, and you'll see there'll be I guarantee you there'll be at least 20 to 30 fucking boats in Connor Ross Creek.
Yeah,
Out of
that's
that
what I've
100.
heard. That's what I've heard. Yeah, for sure. So personally, me, I'm telling you flat out, you know, your viewership has dropped off, I'm sure. I like water below 50 degrees. I like 49, 48, 47. That's what I look for.
Well, if you go upriver from there and you see a split and it goes to the left, that's going to go to the Kiwi Dam, which is a nuclear generation. It's going to heat the water up.
Okay.
You go to the right, it's going to be cooler.
So if you
Doing
go to
what
the
you're-
left and go to that heated water, you're going to catch a bunch of fish. But
That's where
you're
the
not- you're not
catfish
gonna win the
and the
tournament.
Volkswagens hang out, right?
You're going to
No,
show
that's-
up with some
It has
respect.
been one there before. It has been one there before.
If I was going to fish the SBC, if I was thinking about fishing it till I found out it was my granddaughter's birthday party. I'll tell you where I was going to fish, and a lot of people will say no. One reason I'd like to fish there is because I know there probably won't be a lot of boats there. Would have been Martin's Creek. I would have pulled the shit out of Martin's Creek.
What do you
Martin's
think, what do
Creek's
you
the
think,
first creek
Scott?
on the left above Conroe's.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, so that is my spot number one I want to look at. As a matter of fact, true story. That's where I want to go.
You see, we're not lying to you. I mean, that's where I would.
I actually have a circle in my dang hair. I'll show you.
This is the best fishing show. There's not a better fishing show than this. I know we only got 19 people watching, 23 people.
So Martin Creek is the one right above that Conross, right?
Yeah.
That's the one I want to go to first thing because I like what I saw in there.
Yeah.
As far as water temperature, that's
Thomas said Tougaloo is cooler than Seneca.
Yes, Tougaloo is cooler than Seneca. He's correct. Above the 85 bridge in the Tougaloo is several degrees cooler. And if
isn't that weird how the interstates always run on the upper end of reservoirs? Yeah. Because that's the narrowest point. So it's always the river portion.
Two reasons why I'm not considering the Tougaloo. Number one, the house is right there at the ramp, right next to.
Well, you're not considering the Tougaloo because you know you're probably not going to catch a fucking thing up there.
Number two, I ain't got one of those fancy ass fucking striper tubes. So when I go to weigh in, I got to be as close to the weigh in as possible. So therefore,
that has nothing to do with your decision on where to fish.
You damn fucking right it does. It does.
You're lying.
Yes,
you're
lying.
Peter, when the HSBC, your fish were red-tailed. They barely swam off. You don't give a shit about the fish. You caught them. They were.
Did they swim off?
You knew they were going to win the tournament. They went in the live well. You probably didn't even run your damn pump the whole time.
I didn't. That's probably the problem there. Yeah, but I forgot to flip the switch one time. Yes. That's why they kind of got beat up. But
see, my point.
So I mean, if it's a big tournament like this, hell yeah, I'll run that thing nonstop.
You guys are fishing for respect.
Damn.
You guys are fishing for respect.
Pete, I'll tell you one more thing. And if it was me, if you decide you want to fish on the Tougaloo, just remember Glenn's Ferry access. You put in Glenn's Ferry access and go left. Any of those points right there off of that boat ramp. This time of year we'll catch fish.
Scott, do me a favor. Do me a favor, Scott, and I got your back.
Where's that damn 30 pounder, Scott?
I'll make a video defending you. Go hero or zero. Don't fish the SBC for respect. Go hero or zero. Do it for me, bro.
JR, you don't know what I'm doing.
Do it for me.
Wasn't he?
Because I already know Peter's fishing for respect. Let's not do that. Scott.
JR.
Let's swing for the fences.
No, listen to me, JR. Listen to me. I fish one tournament a year, right? Last year I had pressure because you and Wes and Walker.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is.
And this year there's no pressure.
I don't want you to have pressure.
The only pressure I got is giving Peter a bottle of $30 liquor.
I can't wait. Let me drink yours right now. Come on, let's do this.
And I guarantee you that Peter's going to have two fish.
Hero or zero, Scott.
Hey, I got a question on the tournament. I think now, if I'm not mistaken, is this striper or hybrid? Can you win a hybrid on this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scott, I'll top it off with water before I give it to you.
I want to say any striper tournament, a hybrid, you can weigh it. It's about like bass fishing. You can weigh a spot in. Hybrids are the same way.
So I think you can even weigh in a white bass if shit gets rough.
Yeah. Now, in the HSBC, you cannot weigh in a striper, though.
That's correct. It's striper.
Which is weird. That is weird. They should change that rule.
Nope.
In my opinion.
Nope, not at all. There's a reason why they did that. Is because they don't want people winning tournaments that catch that one striper on Lake North. So they turn
bullshit. I think they should change that. And I also think that Wes and Scott should come get in the HSBC. Listen, we got a North Carolina. I may not be coming. I may not be coming because I got the Southeastern, but Peter's coming. So I think that you guys should come fish the HSBC.
I'll be honest with you.
Let's see what kind of fisherman you are. Don't fish a South Carolina lake that stocks millions of fingerlings a year. Okay, come to North Carolina and fish where they only stock 100,000
fish on Lake Norman.
Come on down here. Let's see how good you guys are. You guys come on down here and fish with us in the HSBC. Let's see what's up.
Who in the fuck in their right fucking mind wants to go fish a lake that you know there's not many goddamn fish?
Real fishermen,
right there.
Real fishermen, like the name of our show. That's who would want to.
Someone that lives 20 minutes from the lake, like
I can't wait to just spend my hard-earned fucking money to go fish a lake that I know there's just very few fucking fish
Let's
in.
see,
I'm gonna
because
jump
it's
right on
going to
that.
take. It takes a better angler. Us North Carolina guys are better anglers than you South Carolina guys. Because of that, because y'all stock more fish, they're easier to catch. It's kind of like a guy that look at a fighter. A big guy can't fight. It's the small guys that can fight. Why? Because they've had to. They've been picked on their whole life. Fishing's no different. You guys are so used to your lakes being stocked with millions of fingerlings a year. You come to a lake that's not, you're going to get skunked.
JR, let me ask you a question. How many North Carolina boys has put you on as many goddamn stripers I have? How many of them motherfuckers up there in North Carolina?
That's besides the point.
Oh, that's beside the point.
Yes.
You just said y'all better anglers than we are.
Wes, you're an anomaly. You're an anomaly. You're not like the majority.
You know, when I used to go to Clarks Hill tournament fish, they'd always talk about the North Carolina guys. They'd come to Clarks Hill all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
You know what
North Carolina boys do? You know what they're fucking famous for? They come down here with goddamn treble hooks is what they're fucking famous for.
I think you're mistaking us for the Russians.
Am I lying, Pete?
No, I have no idea. I've never used treble hooks.
We don't know what you're talking about. You talking about snagging fish?
North Carolina fisherman ever come down here and didn't have a goddamn treble hook on his rod? Never.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think like
they use little trebles with bluebacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've been guilty of that.
I love you, JR.
I love you too, guy. I've been guilty of that.
What's North Carolina famous for? The Wrights brothers?
Yeah. Kitty Hawk.
Listen, we are very, very passionate about striper fishermen down here in North Carolina. That's what that's why we travel to South Carolina, is because you boys are spoiled. Y'all are spoiled.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We aren't.
Absolutely.
We're not spoiled.
You got better water quality than we got. You're close to the mountains.
Better water quality. We all got we all have nuclear
they're a lot
plants.
bougie.
Okay, for example, Lake Wiley is on the Catawba chain. It's one of the most fished lakes on the Catawba chain. It doesn't even stock stripers, okay? Doesn't even have stripers. It has a nuclear plant, and if you can't live within a 10-mile radius of it, or you're going to get like these these cancer causing.
Oh, it does sound like you got a great.
And then even a bigger surface area, you're going to have toxicity from the ground. So you can't grow a garden, you can't drink the water, you can't breathe the air. It sucks. You have to actually go up toward like Roadhiss and Lake James to get any kind of clean water. Lake James doesn't even have stripers, and Lake Roadhiss has stripers, but they don't stock but 14,000 fingerlings a year. How many striper fingerlings?
Hey Thomas, are you fishing? Are you in the tournament,
Answer
Thomas?
me that. How many striper fingerlings does Lake Murray?
I'm telling you out, dude. You done this, Mr. Phil, Mr. Science.
I'll answer you. I'll answer my question for you. 2 million striper fingerlings a year for
so JR. So you're holding it against us, and we don't know how to fish, and we're not good anglers.
I'm not saying you don't know how to fish.
I'm gonna tell you
I'm not saying you don't know how to fish. I'm saying North Carolina anglers, as a majority, predominantly, are better fishermen than South Carolina anglers.
There's not a motherfucker. There's not a motherfucker in North Carolina that can goddamn out striper.
If you can catch striper in North Carolina,
bring them down here.
You'll kick South Carolinians' ass. You'll kick a North Carolinian will kick a South Carolinian's ass.
JR, I don't agree with you very often.
Tell me,
hey, Shody, don't be holding on me, boy.
Tell them, let's go to Tennessee and bring their goddamn.
Fucking name, I'm drinking again.
Wes's answer is always, let's go to Tennessee. Yeah, Wes is like best friend. One of Wes's best friends is Todd Asher. Todd Asher is a legend guide in Tennessee.
Okay, so now it's my fault. I've got a friend that's a legend.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
So, JR, I very rarely agree with you here lately, but I actually agree with you in this case right here. If you can fucking catch one of these bougie ass high maintenance striper in NC waters, especially Lake Norman, you're a fucking beast anywhere else.
Listen, you're agreeing.
We're not talking about size, by the way, here, okay?
Because I don't spit nothing but facts.
There's not a
show's over. Oh boy,
I can't
North
wait.
Carolina fishermen are better than South Carolina. Yeah, damn, that's the craziest shit I've ever fucking heard on this show.
I can't wait to pull that trophy up on Lake Norman Sunday morning. and kick Peter Malik's ass. I'm gonna call him like my buddy calls you Peter Malik. It's Malik, right? Peter Malik. Is it Malik or Malik?
It's both. It's Malik.
Okay, well, my buddy.
What's your nickname?
Who's your buddy? Who's your buddy?
My buddy, if he doesn't like somebody, he purposely mispronounces their name.
Okay.
Like he doesn't like Denzel Washington, so he calls him Danielle Washington. He doesn't like Dieter Melhorn, so he calls him Dieter. I don't even know.
Who's your buddy?
Peter Malik is Peter Malik or Malachi. I think that's what it is. Peter Malachi.
Who's your buddy? Spivey?
Alan Oliver.
I don't know.
Yeah, because
I don't even know.
do I have a nickname, JR?
No, you're Scott Perry. They all, dude. Their knees. They have carpet burns on their knees when it comes to Scott Perry. For some reason, they love you. I don't know what it is about you.
Oh boy.
I'll tell you
You guys, JR would rather fish a small little club catfish tournament for $50 versus a real striper tournament.
The biggest striper tournament in the country.
A real man striper tournament.
I can't. I missed the registration.
Bragging rights for the catfish community.
Do they have late registration?
No. Well, if you wanted to fish it, you would have got registered.
That's right.
I tried to. I honestly tried to.
They don't want
Oliver wanted to fish it there. He wanted to throw the catfish shit out the window, and he wanted to fish. And
I tell you what. I'll miss the Southeastern. I'll let Alan fish. I'll let Alan fish for us in the Southeastern, and
Alan wanted to come fish this one.
I will come down and fish the SBC.
You can. You're not.
I won't be registered. I won't be fishing for the SB, but I'll be fishing against you and Peter.
Oh, he's talking.
He's gonna be fishing for the liquor. Come on.
I'll be fishing for the liquor.
Yeah. Come on, you fucking do it. Let's do it.
I'll come fish for the liquor. Okay. Alan's gonna fish the Southeastern. I'm gonna come to the SBC and kick y'all's ass. How's that sound?
No, you won't. You're scared.
Well, yeah, guys.
I tell you what. If I do come, I'm gonna have bait that I caught, Scott. I'm not gonna go.
And you're gonna be, and you're gonna have your drone up at the weigh-in.
And I'm not gonna bring a whatever full of freaking Alabama rigs with some stupid ass soft plastics. I'm bringing bait that I caught, and I'm gonna.
And you will get
stupid ass.
I'm a real fisher.
And you will get skunked.
Say then. What's you gonna say then?
What's up, Wes? What'd you say?
Hey, you know what makes this tournament so great, though? What we're doing now, all the shit talking.
I like the captain's meeting because anybody that's anybody in a striper tournament world is going to be there. You're going to meet Mac Farr and all the big name people, but
nobody knows these guys.
Listen, JR, that ain't who I'm going. I'm going. JR, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. But I get to meet like all my buddies at tournament fish for years, and I very rarely get to see them. So I like
a huge circle. Such a huge circle of.
Yeah, he'd go to a catfish tournament and hand out dentures, I guess. Or whatever fucking need to hand out.
You know what catfishmen and catfish have in common?
Listen, you don't even you pull A-rigs and paddle tail swim baits. You don't know how to catfish, Peter. You half-ass know how to crappie fish.
And catfish.
Oh, we seen your catfish video, JR. The bar, we put the board down, and then we got them good ones, them 3 inches, them $3 cheese, and we damn caught them right there, and they were just eating it all up, and boy, it was a good one.
I love it.
Scott, you were talking about like last year, and this is crazy. I do have, and Scott, I know you've had people come up to you before, and they're talking to you, they know you by name.
No,
you ain't got a fucking clue who they are.
I never met nobody knew me.
I'd actually have some of those guys.
Last year, I was sitting there at the table, and this guy comes up, and we were talking. He was congratulating me on the fish we caught at Chesapeake Bay, and and asked me how we were doing in Tennessee and what. He said, "I think that's really cool fish y'all catching up." Blah blah blah. And we sat there and talked for about 10 minutes. Then he looked at me. He said, "Wes, you don't have a clue who I am, do you?" And I said, "But I'm gonna be honest with you, I sure don't." I said, "You look familiar, but and you know who it was?" Mac Farr.
You
Didn't recognize Mac Farr. And
got to
that made me
recognize
feel
that
bad.
mustache.
Yeah, and maybe, you know, 'cause like I told JR, when that happens, to me, like somebody like you, if I met you, I follow you on Facebook and we talked on Facebook, I guess in the back of my mind, I'm taking it that you should know me. And if I ever meet you in person, you're supposed to know who I am. And I think, and I, you know, a lot of times I just wonder if it makes people feel like they think I'm better than them or I'm above them. I don't think about them because I don't recognize who they are. And that's always made me feel bad.
I think they just feel like they know you from because you're on Instagram or Facebook a lot, but YouTube, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I meet people like that sometimes, but I don't
You know,
feel like
once
I'm
in a while
better than
last year, who was it last year? He said, Wes, he said, who's that other guy with you and Perry? And I looked at him and I was like, you don't know who that is? He said, no, I've never seen him. I said, dude, that's Michael Walker. And he said, no, that ain't Walker. I said, dude, that's Walker. He said, I've known Michael Walker for 10 years. That ain't Walker. I said, God damn, it is Michael Walker too. And I said, Walker, come over here a minute. And he got up close to him. He said, God damn. He said, without that beard and that long hair, Michael Walker looked totally different. With his beard cut off and short hair, he actually looked like he was somebody.
So, Peter, what time you getting to the captain's meeting Friday?
Honestly, I don't know.
I'm probably going to be late. Wes is going to save me a spot, right, Wes?
Yeah, you can sit with me and Lori and my granddaughter.
I probably won't be there till about 5, maybe.
It don't start. It starts at 5 to 7, right?
They said it was open at 3, and they would start talking at 5. Something.
I'll probably be about 5 o'clock, give or take, most likely.
Yeah, I'll be there about 5. You sit with us, Scott. I'll save y'all a place.
What about Peter? Can Peter not sit with you?
Yeah, Peter's gonna sit with us too.
Save me a spot.
Peter probably don't want to sit with us.
Hey, is what's his name?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is Mathena going to be there?
No, John's not fishing it this year. He said he's going to stay up there and make money. Hey,
Daryl Bondy's going to be there.
Oh, hell. He's fishing with a guide, I heard.
Back again.
Oh, Daryl Barney.
Yeah, I heard he's fishing with a
I
guide
think him
out
and
there
Andrew's
somewhere.
fishing it.
What's that?
Him and Andrew Marshbanks is fishing. Scott, so you ain't going to be able to meet us for dinner tomorrow?
No.
What time you get off?
6.
Well, we can do it about 7 if you feel like coming to eat. We're going to eat at Sluder River Grill where we did last year.
Who's going to be there?
Me and Pete and Lori and some of his friends, and I think Chris Brown and Heather.
Not tomorrow, Thursday.
I'm sorry,
I'll
JR was supposed to be there, but he said he's not coming. So.
I mean, if Alan will fish Alan will fish the Southeastern without me, then I'll probably be there.
You want me to see if I can get you on my boat, Jerry?
Yeah.
I think I can.
If I can't, then I probably won't fish on anyone's boat. But if I show up, then I'll probably bring my boat and just fish without being in the actual tournament. I'll just fish against you two.
You probably should.
I'll be so mad though if I show up with 30 pounds and didn't even get in the friggin' tournament. That'll be a heartbreaker.
Hey, what time's weigh-in start? 4, 3, or 4?
The what?
What time's the weigh-in start, Scott?
Well, they ain't announced it, but last year I think it was 3:30.
Okay.
You know how it goes, though, Scott. I will probably do better than I would.
Hey guys, I'll be right back.
If I wouldn't get in the tournament, because I'm going to be making decisions because I'm not going to care. So
I mean, it just amazes me for $250 in an hour drive, you wouldn't get in the biggest striper tournament. I mean, even if you skunked, it's $250. You haul your boat an hour. Come on. Like I'm getting in it knowing there's a 90% chance I ain't gonna win it, but I'm gonna spend $250. It's like that scratch off. There's that one chance that I'll hit that 18-pounder.
Yeah.
I'm using this as a little vacation kind of sort of got me. I'm actually the Airbnbs with another team of we're staying on the same house.
So you're staying with someone else that's actually fishing the tournament?
Correct. Yep. It's 2 of us in one house.
Who else?
The team name is Geek Box It, and they do all the tournaments. And to be honest with you, they don't really rank high ever, really.
What is the name?
A Geek Box It. He owns a computer business.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that too.
Yeah.
Watch,
dude.
watch them win it. Watch them kick your damn ass.
I hope they do. Hope they do. But they're live bait guys, so it's competitive live bait, artificial in the same fucking household, baby.
And they're from North Carolina too.
They're from my neck of the woods right here. Yep.
And they're live bait guys.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, it'll be a North Carolina guy that wins it. If out of the 100 boats that get in it, if I'm going to say 25%, if 25 of the 100 are from North Carolina, then North Carolina will take.
I'm going to tell you this. I think there's going to be of the 100. I'm going to say 15 are NC boys. That's it.
They are. When they had the tournament up there in North Carolina, and all you North Carolina boys was in it.
Let's not talk about that. Why did a fucking Mexican wind up winning it? On goddamn chicken livers with one fucking hybrid. Actually, he was Asian, by the way. He's Asian.
It made me understand this.
Those Asian boys can fish now.
He wasn't Asian. He's a goddamn Mexican.
He's Asian. I'm telling you, he's Asian.
Okay, Asian, whatever. He had fucking slanted eyes, whatever. All y'all North Carolina.
Show's over.
Hey, all y'all North Carolina boys are such good fishermen. Y'all let a little Chinese guy come in there.
I'm gonna tell you what fucking happened. I'm gonna tell you what happened.
A lot of Laotians around here, Wes. There's a lot of Laotians.
Tell us, little JR.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, Wes. Out of Lake Norman, out of the Lake Norman fishermen, if it was do or die in that life or death situation, and I had to,
chicken livers.
I know I would fish with my Laotian friends.
You got Laotian friends?
You damn right I do. I got a bunch of Laotian friends, and they can all fish.
What's their names?
Like my worst Laotian buddy can probably.
What's their names though? What's their names?
You want to know their names?
Yeah, your Laotian friends.
Okay, well, one of them's name's Sonny.
I know Sonny.
Do you know Sonny?
I know
Fishes from a kayak mostly.
I know Sonny.
Okay, well you
Friends of my friends. All right.
Sonny can fish his fucking ass off. Sonny will whip your ass.
In a kayak?
Yes, he will whip your ass in a kayak. Yeah,
that's automatically out.
These boys can fish, Scott. These North Carolina boys can fish. You have no idea. You have no idea.
I do.
You have no idea.
I see when they're. You see, the problem is, you North Carolina guys are going to come down here and catch a 9-pounder and be like, "Holy shit, we got to mount this motherfucker! It's a fucking monster! Somebody call the tournament director. Tell them we got a state record coming in.
Rolling to the scales, hot baby."
They can catch fish. We can catch fish.
Oh boy,
we can catch fish because our fisheries aren't. We were raised on fisheries that aren't as good as y'all's. Y'all were raised on fisheries that are much, much better than ours.
Yeah,
so
make fun of
that don't make y'all better fishermen just because our fisheries, brother.
It kind of does.
Property in Arizona, I'll give you.
It kind of does. Kind of does. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show Peter. I'm actually going to beat a native Norman guy Sunday morning on Lake Norman.
Bring it. I'm not scared.
Hey, when is this hybrid striped bass?
February. What is it? 4th. Peter.
Yep.
February 4th.
And to be quite honest, I don't even know if I can make it yet.
If you want to come down and get skunked and show how much better we are, then come on down, bro.
I'm gonna check. When is the when do you have to be signed up? What's the cutoff date?
You can do it the day of, like that morning. And actually, I think it is that morning. There's no.
And it's on. And what lake's it on?
Lake Norman. Last year it was on Hager Creek. Is it going to be on Hager Creek?
We'll be there this year. Yeah.
I hate that because that's
what's the entry fee?
I'm going to boat there. I'm going to trailer to free.
Is it a blast off tournament or lines in the water?
It's a lines in. You can put it at any ramp and show up there.
I'm putting it at Pinnacle. I'm not driving to Hager. I can get the Hager.
I can fuck some hybrids up, boys. Woo!
Come on down. Come on down.
I have that 4-pounder test and
come on.
Number 6 hooks. You see my video.
There's hybrids. There's hybrids, and then there's Lake Norman hybrids. Them Lake Norman hybrids will fucking humble your ass, boy. I'm telling you.
The thing is, though, if you know how, Scott, I know you like to pre-fish. If you come down and you pre-fish Norman, you're going to fall in love with it. Lake Norman I'm telling you, Lake Norman is a sexy mistress. You will fall in love with her.
If you live in the Charlotte area and you have 3 choices to fish at, High Rock, Norman, Baden, you'll fall in love with Norman. If you're from SC and you come to Norman, you'll be like, man, fuck this lake.
No,
I'm never coming back again.
no, Lake Norman. There's something
I
about it.
bet Peter falls in love with Hartwell. I guarantee it. He'll be coming down here.
I love
Like
Lake
Peter
I love Lake
Hartwell.
Watery. I love
Hartwell
Lake
is like a giant Lake Wiley. Yeah, you're not going to fall in love with it. It's not a clear water lake.
So
Lake
y'all
Norman-
like
Lake
little
Norman's
bitty lakes where
Lake
they're all
Norman's a clear
stacked
water
on
lake.
top of each other?
No, Lake Norman is the biggest lake in North
They're big.
Carolina. It's the
Yeah,
biggest lake
Lake
in the
Norman's
state.
massive, dude. Lake Norman's huge.
It has
How big
creeks
is
out
how
the
big is
wazoo.
how big is Wiley? What's the
12,500 acres. You could fit
and
3 Lake
Hartwell's
Wileys in there.
56,000 acres.
Yeah, Lake Hartwell
Hey,
almost twice as big
and
as
Clark's Hill is 116,000 acres.
No, it's not. Clark's Hill's 77,000,
No,
78,000 acres.
what is this? 100,000 something through?
It's got,
Clark's Hill is
the
the
more,
second
it's got the most shoreline.
Yeah, and it's the
Seven.
largest impoundment east. No, it's the second largest east of the Mississippi. Do you know what the largest impoundment is east
Santee,
of the Mississippi?
Moultrie,
No,
Moultrie
No.
and Marion.
no.
Moultrie and
Don't
Marion
think
make
so.
up 144,000 acres.
No. Largest, the second largest lake east of the Mississippi, and it starts with a K.
Kiwi?
No. Tell them, Scott.
Kerr.
No. Kentucky Lake.
No, I have no idea. That's in
Kentucky
Tennessee.
Lake's bigger.
I know it's in Tennessee.
No, it's in Kentucky.
Oh,
God damn.
your Tennessee River runs through Mississippi.
God damn.
The Tennessee River runs through several
I know
states.
he didn't just say
The Missouri River runs through several states. The Tennessee River runs through several states. I thought Kentucky Lake was in Tennessee.
No, Kentucky Lake is the largest impoundment east of the Mississippi.
And
Clark's
how
Hill
big is it?
second.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
at the weigh-in, Peter, I'm just going to bring your bourbon up in a brown bag. Get it to you.
Why in a brown bag? Just fucking hand it to me like this.
So what
Here.
bourbon are you bringing, Scott?
You got.
I don't know. I've been looking. I'm trying to. I don't know if I should bring Peter what I like or what other people like.
Listen, it better be stronger than 80 proof. Okay. It better not
10
be like
cups, 80 proof.
It's got to be better than 80. 80 proof is
Cup
cheap. liquor.
is 84 proof to be exact.
84. Yeah. I don't know. I got a couple that I like in that price range.
Now, don't bring me no 80
Something
proof.
I like.
We'll bring
I
some
want-
basic shit like Jack Daniels.
Hey, see if y'all can read this.
You can bring Jack Downs as long as it's over.
I'm
80
going to
proof.
try to bring something that Peter probably hasn't had.
Can y'all read that?
Yeah, what is the
Largest
largest man-made lake east of the Mississippi River? It's Thurman Lake. Happens to be the largest man-made reservoir on the Mississippi, east of the Mississippi River. The big difference of these two lakes, the amount of water Meade has in total volume. Okay, so Lake Meade, or is it Strom Thurman, which is
No,
Clark Hill?
it's strong. It's we call it Clark's Hill, but they named it
Well,
after
Lake
one of the
Meade is
parts-
in what, fucking Nevada?
Huh?
Yeah, Lake Mead's in the bottom. Vegas.
They named Thurman after one of our senators.
You got Yankee version, which is Nevada, and then you have the Southern version, which is Nevada. I like it.
I'd like to punch them glasses straight into your face.
It's like caramel and caramel.
I would
It's
like to leave.
It's like,
the-
hey guys, where's you? Let me get your car keys, not your car keys.
keys.
Car-
By the
Now
car
that show's
keys.
over, Scott. You ain't gonna have no liquor to win.
Crazy how I know, right? Crazy how my sinuses are all of a sudden clear.
I would like to punch them Christmas story glasses into Ralphie's eyeballs right now.
I'm the only one that has glasses. Are you talking to me? I need 6 weeks, motherfucker. It's got to be a gym. It can't be like there can't be any like sidewalks and sharp corners and other places that we can kill each other. It needs to be in a controlled environment and preferably in a ring.
Oh, I like Greg. I'm not talking about fighting, Jay. I'm too old. I like Greg's comment. I live on the Seneca River chain. Lots of traffic on my green light this week. That's another thing. If you're going to go out there, you might want to go out there early and see where the dock lights are.
Oh my goodness. What? Are we about to talk about some dock lights? Scott, you don't know anything about dock lights.
The dock lights won't be on during tournament hours.
Peter.
Yes.
See, I'm going to go. Listen, it's late in the show. There's not many people watching, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you some tournament secrets. secrets. Okay?
Oh, Jesus. I got to go piss.
All right. Here's a huge tournament secret. Get out there, pre-fish at night. Find your dock lights. Find the dock lights that have the fish.
You can't do that.
Fish
You can't do that in this tournament.
Fish in proximity of the dock lights, wherever they are. If they're in this creek arm or in this river section, whatever you want to fish in proximity of the dock light that you find that holds fish.
JR, you can't fish. You can't fish the night before or at dark after this tournament the day before.
Okay, well then get down there 2 nights before.
So I'm going to tell you one thing that I'll differ in this situation right here. I am not putting my boat in at night on a lake I've never been on before.
Well, you're just scared.
I'm not scared. I'm just, I don't want to say cautious, but let's just say that I'm going to play it safe for a tournament. I'm not going to put my boat in on the water.
Okay, well then how in the hell are you going to find the dock lights?
I don't give a shit.
If you're not going to put in somewhere in the dark, you got to be out there in the dark in order to know where the dock lights are.
You're right. So
you know how many tournaments are won on dock lights, Jim?
I'm not saying fish the damn dock lights, Perry. I'm not saying fish them. Jesus. All right, I'm not giving you any more information. That's all I'm giving you. You could take it with a grain of salt.
That's a 10 cup.
0, yeah.
0.
Oh.
I love how J-Rap says, I'm going to pull my bait.
Greg Hare wants somebody to call him. Do y'all know Greg Hare?
Greg Hare?
I think it was Greg Hare.
Yeah. Call him.
Why is Greg Hare saying call me?
Greg Hare, we don't know your number.
He jumped on a live with 4 different people and just said, call me.
I don't know you, Greg Hare, but I will call you.
Somebody send Greg Hare an invite. Wes?
Well, I'll tell you, I did see a picture of a 30-pound fish that was caught today. Art will maybe coming back. You never know.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah. Sure. It's going to be huge. I got a picture of it.
Hart will never left. It wasn't easy anymore. That's what happened.
I think that's the 27. Who's holding it? Skipper?
What?
Damn, Skipper. I know that spot. You should have sent it to him.
That's why when he sent it to him, I said, can I show it to him? And he said, no, because you can tell where it is.
What are y'all talking about?
That, don't you? You know how I know, though, really know, is I seen him coming up 85 when I was taking my grandchildren home. I seen him coming up 85 where he turned off of. And then I looked at that picture. I said, I know where he was.
He won't.
Damn, now I can't get back on the
pitch. He's hating you right now. He's hating
you. Froze
up,
Scott. I can hear you, but your picture froze up.
There we go. We're back.
Yeah.
Live, baby. Was it in the river that we talked about?
Greg Hare, who was supposed to call you? I don't think nobody knows who you are, brother.
I live on the skin of the river that trying to call me. It's related to dock lights.
Dang.
There he's gone.
Scott's got that Waterloo wireless.
Oh, man. We're going on a second record here, huh? Almost 3 hours now.
Yeah, we got to go, man. We got jobs. I have a job.
I got nothing to look forward to in the morning, so I get to sleep in as long as I want, which is
nice. Y'all, I'm going to try to call Greg on Messenger. Let's see if he answers.
We'll give Scott a minute to come back on before we get off.
Greg, I'm trying to call you on Messenger. Greg, it says you have to receive a message from me, then I can call you on Messenger.
We're about to get some juicy stuff from Greg. There he is, Waterloo Wireless. What's up, buddy?
I was quick enough to look at pictures and kick me off.
Nah. You have to hit that home button. Yeah, you don't be. What did you back out? Can't back out.
I don't know what I did. I'm looking at comments now.
Wes is trying to call Greg Hare. Greg, I think he lives on Orwell, and I think this might be some juicy stuff.
Hell yeah! How'd you get his number, Wes?
Well,
on Messenger.
He commented, said, "Call me," but you got to be friends with someone to actually call them initially. So you have to like send them a message first, and then
that'd be juicy. Get Greg Hare in here. Tell us what's up.
It's late in the show, so yeah, nobody's watching. There's only 13 people watching, so 13 out of 103 is not bad.
Well, I got to get off at 11. I got 10 minutes.
Sounds good.
I think Scott's going to beat him by 1.25 ounces. Oh, I hope I just catch 2.
1.25 ounces of it. So 1 ounce is how many grams? 32 grams. So 32 and then a quarter. So 32, 40 ounce. So 40 ounces is 40 grams is what he's going to beat him by. Okay. Gotcha.
Well, let me say that I've never won a tournament I didn't pre-fish.
You've never won a tournament you didn't pre-fish. So you're not going to pre-fish the SBC?
I can't. My work every day. I'm like you, JR. I'm blue collar.
That's right. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So I'm going on a whim, but I did mark some good bait, so I feel good about the spot I'm on.
Now, Greg Harrison.
Where you going to fish at, huh? Tell us all. Tell us.
And he said it's related to dock light. So I think he may be willing to give away a dock light spot.
Yeah.
Answer the phone.
Let's call him.
I know. He was like, oh God. Oh God, never mind.
So answer the phone, you cocksucker.
Yeah, answer the phone, Greg. Told us to call you. Try to call.
He's like, damn it.
Come on, comb your hair. Go live.
Greg's buddy called him. It's like, motherfucker, you better not.
Well, boys.
All right. Well, it's been good. Been real.
No, I was kidding.
It's been fun.
We got 10 more minutes.
Y'all know
God, that sounds like shit. What is that?
Hey, JR.
What?
JR. Do you precision cast when you're pulling trolling?
Wes, I'm going to make a video and I'm going to dedicate it to you, and it's going to be called Precision Casting.
What do you precision? Who precision cast for a fucking catfish? I still
Damn.
Oh my goodness! Look at that Calcutta. What a piece of shit! I precision cast for catfish.
What a piece of shit!
Yeah, Calcutta ain't got nothing on no Abu, brother. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You might as well sell that song gun. That's just. I want to look good. I want to be a striper fisherman, so I want to go have Calcutta. Nah, Abu was the striper reel before Calcutta's ever thought about being a striper reel. So. Yeah.
Did you hear? Hey,
don't
Jared,
come at me with a round thumb bar reel. What?
You're not listening. That's what your problem is. Did you watch it? Did you watch the video of that striper I lost on that Abu? Did you hear that drag?
Listen, see, that's the thing, man. So somebody tagged me in a post earlier, and you know exactly what post I'm talking about. It was antique reels from 1903 to 1930. They were selling them, okay, as a bundle. They were antique reels, and somebody tagged me and said, "JR, you'd love this." That goes to show that anybody that badmouths and trash Abus, they're basing it off of old, at the very minimum, vintage Abus.
No, this was
the reels that you're talking about. That
2000s.
Rank.
That was 2000s. 2000s.
Early 2000s.
Probably
early 2000s.
Late 2000s.
Yeah, even still, they didn't start with the carbon drag till later than that. So they're old, dirty ass felt drags.
Enjoy the drag.
Take three. Three little Phillips screws, take them out and replace your stupid little felt drag washers with carbon fiber drag, and you're good. And there's no more rank.
Oh, they still do that. I got carbon fiber in my C3 6500.
Okay, well then they're the one. They're not going rank.
Yeah, they're terrible. They got the worst drag on the market.
If they have bad drag, put some cows, clean them, put some cow's drag grease on them.
Everybody goes to 6,500 got jumpy drags. You can't argue that.
No, I can't argue that. Yeah. Carbon drag washers with cow's drag grease, clean carbon drag washers with cow's drag grease. They're not going to be jerky.
Hey, if you lock a 6,500 down, they've only got 15 pounds of drag.
That video was locked
in their right mind.
If you lock it down, it's going to stutter.
Fisherman worth his weight in salt is going to fight a fish with 15 pounds of drag.
When you're over trees and you have no choice but to lose the fish in the trees or get him out, then you got to
lock it down. Abu will work.
And I showed you the video. I locked him down. He broke me off with that stinking ass drag. Yeah.
What size line were you using?
25 pounds.
25 pound. I thought Abu didn't have the 15 pounds of drag. Why are you breaking 25-pound test line, which breaks 30% over its breaking strength, mind you?
Because I put this on.
With 15 pounds of drag.
Because I put this on.
Oh, well, well, in that case, any reel would have broke you off.
Not with that chunky ass drag.
Oh my God, guys, you're not gonna have.
This makes me want to drink some more.
Moving on. Right. Hey, Wes, call Greg Harrigan, Wes. Call Greg Harrigan real quick.
He hadn't responded.
You want me to call him?
Yeah, right. Are you friends with him?
No, but I don't know. I might be. Let me find my phone.
All right. Well, it's been fun. I don't know if y'all notice I don't get mad at these cocksuckers no more, like JR. I say fuck them. It's simple Simon shit, Grasshopper. If you don't like what I got to say, then click off the fucking video.
No, they Dr. Pepper Cheeto eating motherfuckers.
That's Doritos, by the way.
No.
Dr. I am friends. I am friends with him.
Call him, see if he'll answer for you.
All right, guys, I'm out.
Hang on a second.
You got 5 minutes. Greg Harris talking shit. Hello,
I'm calling him.
Oh boy. He ain't answering. Damn, Greg Harris. That's some juicy stuff.
Peter drunk in the motherfucker.
No, I'm not. I'm actually playing on Facebook.
All right.
All right, guys. It's been a good show. Thanks for coming by and watching Real Fisherman. I guess we'll see you next week, next Tuesday. Every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern, we go live.
And hopefully one of us is holding a trophy and a couple of these,
We'll talk about the Striped Bass Challenge next week.
Yeah. The results.
Hey, Scott, before we hang up,
we'll see who's got the bottle of liquor.
At the captain's dinner. And if you decide y'all want to come eat, let us know. We'll do it at 7 instead of 6:30. We're going to do it at Sluter River Grill again.
All right.
Sluter River Grill. There you go. Good night, everybody. See you next week on Real Fisherman. Good night, Peter. Good night, Scott. Good night, Wes.
Take care. Good luck, Scott. We'll see you out there.